Guess who's going to tell tonight? I wanted to talk about Frank Gary. Okay.
Shut it down in a minute. If somebody come in, nobody called in and asked nothing.
Nothing.
About what's going on for the past 2 days. Peace and Black Power. What's your name? Where you calling from?
So I be scamming and shit like that, but we can't. We seen his arrest record, so we know he ain't no pedophile. At least, you know what I'm saying. Well, I mean, I beg to differ because I was there. Hold on. Hold on. Are you gonna tell us that Sanetta's a pedophile, nigga? Actual facts. Let me tell you something, yo. And it all came out with this polite shit. And like I said, I'm watching how they going at you. And I'm like, yo, tell the truth to shame the devil, man. That's the bottom line. And years ago, I'm just looking at that Tasha K arrest record. I'm looking at that arrest record and I'm looking at the dates. And as I look at the dates, I said, wait a minute. This is during the time when Frankie was going out with a 15, 16-year-old girl when he was in his 30s. Let me say that again. And I'm from home. Chill, bro. Chill. I send you my number, yo. Chill. You can't call in. You can call me up and we could go on the phone. We could do a FaceTime. We could do all that. Bro, you can't call in. You can't. It's the climate in the community is too crazy to throw a smear campaign on a nigga like that. Smear campaign. I got the girl name and everything. I know where the girl is at. She'll confirm it herself. Whoa. So this is hard. So you want to know why he protecting Polite? Because he defends what Polite do. Hold on. So you saying that you know that Sanetta was 30 years old with a 15-year-old girl he was having sex with? 33. I don't know, family. What's the girl name then? Where's she from? Like, how do we know this is real? Again, every man got to defend himself. So he getting at you, he throwing smear campaigns. This is on him. And like I said, I'll leave you my contact information if you ever want to get back at me. And when he get on the line with me, he know what it is. The girl name was Nikki. Ask him about Nikki from 150th Street. And what was he doing with Nikki?
Ask me no fucking questions about no fucking Nikki. Who is Nikki? You tell me. And if I knew it and then I tell you who she was, you wouldn't fucking know her.
Ask him that question. That's the question that needs to be asked. So that nigga's phone. And we used to say all that shit on 125th Street. That was nothing but divide and conquer. All you did was put us against each other for 20 years. That's why we don't got shit. While you driving around in Mercedes Benzes and all that shit through Harlem.
My Benz been gone a long time ago. In case you didn't know. You know what I'm saying? So I got a BMW right now. But that's my personal.
It's divided and conquered. For 20 years, we battling each other all day, every day, all year, every year, for 20 years. But again, you want to see what's in the dark comes to the light. With this shit with Polite now, the gloves are off. We grown ass men right now. We can't defend this in our community anymore. You gotta tell the truth to shame the devil. So I'm gonna leave you my contact information because I know people calling
What
in.
the fuck?
No, ain't nobody else calling in. Niggas is in shock. You just fucked up my whole show. What? Yo, it's the truth. What the fuck? It's the truth. Quran, 150th. You know who I be? Quran from 150th? 150th and what? St. Nicholas. Quran from 150th and St. Nicholas. And and Nikki is from 150th and St. Nicholas too, or no? All the same block. Wow. We all lived in the same building. Okay. Oh, so you lived in the building. So hold on. So let me, you know what? I don't even want to make jokes because it's so serious. But I was going to say, you sound like somebody who was trying to hit it and mad because one of the older niggas was hitting it. Because that's how it usually be. It be grown-ass, old-ass pervert niggas
messing with the young niggas' girls.
Of course, that's exactly what it was. That's exactly what it was. The girl always used to say she had an older boyfriend. And the kids like, yo, who? He used to sneak that girl in and out of his house, yo. When she was 15, 16, 17. I think he missed her for a year because he had one away to jail. Look at that arrest record. I'm talking about like 96, 97, somewhere in that area. I got to look at that record again. But he was in jail, and when he came home, he got right back to her. And she was like 17 at the time.
I'm just wondering if you've been addressing the latest rumors that we heard about you today.
Say that again?
I said, have you recently addressed the latest rumors we heard?
Yeah, we did earlier.
Nepal, let me deal with that. What are you talking about?
Recently, we heard some crazy things from Ingy's page.
So you agree that they were just rumors, right? And not facts?
I'm trying to figure out.
No,
That's why I'm asking you.
No, I'm asking you. Was he dropping facts?
We didn't see any.
Hold on, sister. Let me answer you.
So I can't say that it's a fact.
Thank you. So I ain't got to address it, sister. Thank you. It's just comical stuff.
Huh?
It's just comical stuff, sister. I ain't got to address it. If it's not facts, if it's not coming with proof. But I'm surprised you ain't asked me about Solomon. He's in your neighborhood. He's out there with you. And we showed.
About him before. We gonna expose the pedophiles, you know. Yeah. I just wanted to make sure that you heard. So I was interested to know if you had anything to say.
No, I don't. No, that's just
because it's just crazy that people are, shooting
people
out.
People are playing games with this.
Pedophiles.
Yeah, people playing games with it.
With no proof.
Yeah, and that's sad. That's what you should have asked him. Like, dude, where's your proof at? Can you show me something? You know, I need the take back.
Yeah, all he said was a little girl named Nikki, and that was about it.
And he can't show no proof, so I ain't gotta address none of that.
Right.
I ain't gonna waste no time to make him think he got me scrambling. No, he ain't got me scrambling. For me to address that makes that nigga so proud and happy. He's watching right now laughing. And for me to be up in here explaining that shit, he'd be Googling and laughing behind the screen.
I'm sure he would be laughing, but just for somebody to put your name in allegations like that and it to be a joke, that's foul. And then to somebody to say it and it's true and then not to be addressed, that's even more foul. This is just a sticky situation, you know?
Right. So let me add what I said earlier to the people. See, when you sit in a chat and
allegedly, then we leave that there. So that's done. But apparently the story is he started having sex with the girl when she was 15 years old. And what the brother was saying, I corroborated in questioning him after the show, because if you remember back, he said when Tasha K dropped his record, it triggered his memory. So Sanetta had went away to jail for a year, and this girl had stayed with him the whole time. Like while she was 16 years old, she didn't have no boyfriend because her quote unquote boyfriend was in jail, which was Sanetta. And then when Sanetta came home, he did a year. When he came home, they got right back together. So he was with this girl from the time that she was 15 to the time that she was 18 years old. And he was in his 30s. Her first name is Chanel. Her middle name is Nikki. I should have got the last name. But it's people that's available for conversation that want to deal with the subject matter. You know what I'm saying? So I'm sure her name will eventually come out. But the girl's family all know Sanetta, and apparently Sanetta's family, I think, is supposed to be familiar with the girl from the conversation I was having with the brother. Like, this wasn't a fly-by-night relationship. This was his girlfriend. You see what I'm saying? Like, this was his girlfriend. You know what I'm saying? Like, they had a relationship for years.
They come with slander. Anything that they got on me, tell them to show the records like I do. I bring forth my information. I show it to you. Prove all things. That's it. Other than that, all that other shit is just talking, man. People are trying to distract you, trying to distract me from the real issue. It's all talk. All right, so come on, man. Don't ask me no fucking questions about no fucking Nikki. Who is Nikki? You tell me. And if I knew it and then I tell you who she was, you wouldn't fucking know her. So come on, man. Don't ask me no motherfucking stupid questions like that. Tell a nigga to show and prove. Other than that, y'all don't come at me with that stupid shit. You don't know when niggas playing you. Niggas coming up with old shit now, trying to see if they could try to get you.
Sanetta was the local crack dealer in the neighborhood. So as the local crack dealer, you know, he got knots in his pocket. He come through, flash some 5411s.
You tell me. And if I knew it and then I tell you who she was, you wouldn't fucking know her. So come on, man. Don't ask me no motherfucking stupid questions like that. Tell a nigga to show and prove. Other than that, y'all don't come at me with that stupid shit. You don't know when niggas playing you. Niggas coming up with old shit now, trying to see if they could try to get you.
I tend to believe this could not on its own support him abusing drugs or smoking crack. Reason I say that is because if you look at the very first charge, you see the birth year is 1965. You also see the date of offense is in 1982. This means he would have been around 17. And then the, charges right after that, even in the same year, would have been 17, 17, 18, 19. Then you have some other charges. And right at the very top, you do see narcotics charges with intent to sell. And so I'm led to believe that he probably sold drugs in his early days or, as a young man. And it looks like these last charges with intent to sell was in his late 20s.
People that grew up in that neighborhood still remembers that when he was deep into his 30s, he was still chasing 14 and 15-year-old girls, and they remember his relationship with Nikki. So he shouldn't be discussing Solomon, Polite, or anybody, honestly. He should just be talking about his relationship with Nikki from 15 to 18 while he was in his 30s.
Fucking questions about no fucking Nikki. Who is Nikki? You tell me. And if I knew it and then I tell you who she was, you wouldn't fucking know her.
Yes, who's gonna tell tonight?
You don't know when niggas playing you. Niggas coming up with old shit now, trying to see if they could try to get you.
Yeah, tell me what y'all think. Let me find the timestamp.
Stupid questions like that. Tell a nigga to show and prove. Other than that, y'all don't come at me with that stupid shit. You don't know when niggas playing you. Niggas coming up with old shit now, trying to see if they could try to get you.
Did that sound like a confession right there? Hey, did anybody feel like that was a confession? Hold on. Listen to this. Listen to what I'm saying. He tell a person just boy, exactly. Yo, watch. Listen. When you roll when you roll dice in New York, like CeeLo, we had little sayings. Like everywhere, I'm sure they dice games got sayings. You know what I'm saying? But watch his face when he aced. That's one of like the most popular sayings from back in the days when you playing dice. Ace is when you lose all your money. Just for anybody that don't know, you know what I'm saying? So that was like a saying. Watch his face when he aced. But people from that culture, that world, we began to use that as just like a saying in general. And that right there is a moment. That man is seriously under pressure. Listen, when I tell y'all he's under pressure, Sanetta is definitely. Listen to what I'm telling y'all. Y'all have never seen him under pressure like this before. Keep asking him who's Nikki. And when he pretend like he don't know who's Nikki, tell him, you know Nikki. You used to call her Chanel from 150th and St. Nick, and then tell her, look, Come on, man. You know her sister's over there on Andrews, man. Her sister moved to Andrews, man. Chill for she come on here, man. Chill for them people come on here, man. Because there's guys that used to live in that building that want to come online. They want to talk about the situation. Absolutely said, yo, niggas bringing up old shit. Oh, so not that it's not a thing, not that it didn't happen. It's niggas bringing up old shit. So okay, that means it's old. That means so if you was raping 15-year-old girls back in the days, that's old shit. Come on, man. Come on now, niggas bringing up old shit. Niggas raping girls back in the day. So what? That don't mean nothing today, right? Come on, let's fist bump on it, people. Let's hit a fist bump,
man. Stop falling for that bullshit, man. Y'all keep falling for the same game over and over and over to distract shit.
Yes, it's going down night.
Negroes is always coming with some new crazy shit. All right, brothers and sisters, I'm out of here, man. Let me see if we at least hit that mark yet. Niggas came through and showed love. Okay, yes, we did. Damn. 2 people came through. 2 people out of how many? 1,000 came through. Damn. Family, y'all really shitting on your brother.
All right. Now, I'm going to share the link for all purposes. Then I'm going to check that the sound is okay, that you can hear me. So I did not make that video. It's been online for a year. No, not that one. Where is it? There it is. Now, I'm not sure how Nikki is spelled. I did spell it with 2 K. I mean, Nikki. On that video, it is spelled Nicky, but I guess we'll find out, we'll find out real quick how it is spelled. But phonetically, it doesn't make a difference. So here, there it is. That's the video. That's the video that I played. I didn't make that video. I did not. Look. That's the video here. Sanetta and Nikki, are the allegations true? Jermaine Woods, 165 subscribers, 345 views, uploaded 1 year ago. Somebody from Detroit, or it was uploaded from Detroit. Okay, I don't know if there's any description. No description. So here somebody wrote, "Guess who's going to jail tonight?" That's the song that Enki was singing. And here wrote, "Coming up with old stuff." So it looks like a very convenient, excuse. Like, oh, that's old, man. We've been knowing about this. Now let me check the sound. Yeah, the sound is okay. Now the chat is open for everybody. For those who don't know, and you have the link to get on the panel. So David is in the place to be. He wrote, "Peace, good brother." HT wrote, "You have to be the feds." Then he wrote, "Who sent you, Frenchman?" So then V. Bennett wrote, "Lol, Sanetta in the house, lol." David is laughing also. Now, what is this trumpet? I don't know what the trumpet stands for, but HG, here's the link to get on the panel. Feel free. The only requirement for those who don't know to get on panel is to show your face. You need to have a webcam or a smartphone, but we need to see your face. But Sanetta, you don't have to. If it is you under the username HC. You don't have to do that. You can just get on the panel. You know what I'm saying? You know, we're gonna get this over with. You know what I'm saying? You know. Oh, we have Andrew Brunet in the place to be. I know it's very early in America now. I mean, in New York, it's what it has to be like well, it's gonna be 6 a.m. actually. In 4 minutes, it's gonna be 6 a.m. You know. But HT, why do I have to be the feds? Because I played a video that's 1 year old, and it's Minister Enki, who is from, well, I don't know if he is exactly in New York, but he's been in New York a lot. You know what I'm saying? When Kartazar and Tuzariak was told Polite that his spiritual father is a child molester, and when Tuzariak told Polite cross the line, because Polite was half his size, he didn't have the same energy with Shaka Amos, and Shaka Amos cursed him out in his face. But Enki was there. You know, so he's been around for a minute. Enki has been around for a minute. You know what I'm saying? So I have to be a fez because I play a video that's online and it's Enki speaking? Really? It's like that now? Dang. So I'm not the feds, for the record. It's easy to just deny that accusation, that claim, that allegation. I'm not the feds. I'm strictly independent. I'm not being financed by any organization whatsoever, you know. So then he asked, who sent you? Nobody sent me. Nobody sent me. So any other questions, HC? Oh, HC, I have a question for you. How do you feel about the child molesters, convicted child molesters that appear on the House of Rape on a regular basis and they get all the respect in the world? How do you feel about that? I answered you. Well, it was not directly. Well, it was a question. Who sent you, Frenchman? There's no question mark, but you know, it was a question. You know. So, would you care answering, HD? And if there is any of the House of Consciousness side of the studio's moderator who want to get on the panel and kick the knowledge, they are welcome, you know, because I know with the Twitter fingers, they are very skilled. Enki said that Sanetta is under pressure and that some people from Harlem are ready to speak. They have contacted Enki to speak about it. Now, apparently, Enki, you know, he kind of backtracked. Maybe he was threatened. Maybe people told him, look, if you want that beef, then, you know, we have that stuff on you. Or maybe they just got him a new house. Or maybe they just, you know, gave him some hush money. I don't know what it was, but then it's just a question. Now, here we have Pan-Black Americanism, and I think it's the first time he intervenes in the chat because I don't recall, but let's see what he says. He wrote, if there's any slander in there, I don't agree with that, but for the most part, you're doing good work keeping your foot on the pedal's neck. Keep going. Thank you. You see, brothers and sisters, it's reassuring when we see that there are more people who are against pedophiles, child molestation, than people who are cool with it. You know, it's very reassuring because at one point, you know, those people will use many different kind of tactics to make you feel guilty, to make you feel like you are wrong, to try to deter you, discourage you from speaking on issues like that, you know. And here's our brother V Bennett. What's that, brother?
Yeah, bro. I heard it, and it's true, man. It's like these guys, they're telling on each other. They're exposing each other. I mean, and this person in the chat is like, you know, talking about you a Fed. I mean, come on. So was Inky a Fed? I mean, why is the answer so always like so slippery? Anytime something gets confronted, people try to throw a deflection out there that they can't even. They don't even want to prove you're a Fed, Shaka. They don't even want to prove it. It's just a deflection. If they called Inky a Fed, it would be the same thing because regardless, these are people Sanetta chose to hang out with. They're speaking on it.
Hold on, Vivene. Hold on, Vivene. Please,
yeah.
Please hold that thought. Now, what you said is very interesting. The person didn't say Enki had to be the feds. The person says that I have to be the feds. But it's Enki speaking. You know what I'm saying? But here, David wrote, I've sued multiple people for slander and libel cases. There are many precedents for defamation. How he hasn't addressed these allegations is quite suspicious. I'm pretty sure that very quickly, most likely today or tonight, Frankie, aka Sanetta, will address this. You know, I'm quite confident that some people say, "Hey, Sanetta, you know the French guy, you know what I'm saying? You know that's the live stream he did. What's up with that?" So Sanetta will probably address that and say yes or no. You know. Now here, Zen Garden wrote, there are child predators in France. Why we not talking about that? But please talk about that, brother. Please get on the panel. The link is there. Come and talk about that. You see, I'm not waking up and just, you know, accusing people. We have a video. We have Enki who knows Sanetta very well. We had a caller who talked about the girl. He gave location. You know what I'm saying? So look at this. This sounds like you're mad about something. I'm not mad at all. You sound mad. Yeah, go ahead, brother.
If you start talking about the pedophiles in France, he gonna be the same person to jump up and say, "Why you doing that, brother? Why you doing that?"
These are the topics we can talk about.
Stop gossiping, brother. Stop gossiping.
Yeah, stop gossiping. Well, now Zen, now that I addressed your statement, now my question to you, Zen Garden. And he added S, like something else. Zen Garden, how do you feel about convicted child molesters appearing on the House of Rape on a regular basis? How do you feel about that? That doesn't make sense. Okay. My question to you, Zen Garden, you know, once again, how do you feel about convicted child molesters getting on the House of Rape and with all the respect in the world? How do you feel about that? Now, for those who don't know, we have some paperwork. Many people have not seen that paperwork. There it is. That's the paperwork here. Zen Garden. This is the paperwork for the Mighty Hebrew. As we can all see here, it says rape, guilty. Involuntary deviant sexual intercourse, guilty. Aggravated indecent assault, guilty. Statutory rape, guilty. Indecent assault, guilty. Corrupted minor, guilty. How do you feel about that, Garden Zen? Or is it Zen Garden? Let me see. Hold on. It's Zen Garden. Now, David wrote, you cannot call a man gay and it not be true. You cannot say a man is a pedophile and it not be true. Sanetta said that Nasi Yashuva is a pedophile. To not answer those allegations are damaging. Now, Zen Garden wrote, do you know everybody background who shows up on your panel? That's not the question, Zen Garden. It's not going to work with me. Your deflecting tactic has failed. My question to you, yeah, he's talking about something else again. Well, I'm going to repeat the question every time it's necessary. Zen Garden, how do you feel about this guy, Mighty Hebrew, who was convicted in the court of law for child molestation, for rape actually, and he's appearing on the House of Consciousness on a regular basis? We also have, and maybe you haven't seen it, we also have Captain Tazariak, who admitted live on air that he supported ISUPK member who was convicted in the court of law for child molestation. Maybe you didn't know about that, Zen Garden. Maybe Sanetta told you, oh, that French guy here is a slanderer. So just for your information, Zen Garden, I'm going to let you hear Tazariak out of his own mouth.
Are you accused of molesting your wife's niece, who is your niece through marriage?
I have no recollection of that. You would have to inform me of what you're talking about. I have no recollection of that.
Okay, I will be able to one day. So I have my third question. Captain Tazariak, do you have a homie that's in prison right now for child molestation that you support financially?
Yes.
But I thought you were against child molestation and those that are molesters to children.
I am against child molestation and those that molest children.
So why are you supporting this person, but you speak ill against others that have a love for people that have been just accused of child molestation?
Okay, I'll answer your question very easily. When I was at both cases of both trials, the evidence that they had, they gave the brother a lie detector test, which he passed. They tested the sister for the young girl, rather, whether her hymen was broke because he was accused of molesting her. Her hymen was not broke. A hymen, for those that don't know, a hymen is something that they use to test to see if the woman's or the child's virginity has been broken or anything like that. There was information that she said that she gave, which she then retracted. So the first case that they did was thrown out. The second case they did not want to answer to. The jury was hung on it, and the judge did not want to release them until they came up with an answer, and then they came up with a guilty verdict. So from observing the case, if he was guilty of the crime, I would in no way support the brother. But from the evidence of the case, from the testimonies of him as well as the individuals involved, he was not guilty, even though he was found guilty.
Wow, so he was not guilty even though he was found guilty, but you speak ill against someone else that is not guilty, but they say he was guilty. So I have a question. This brother that you support, does he have children?
Yes.
And if so, do you ever say to those children, you have a father that's a child molester?
No, I don't.
Well, why do you do that to others that have a love for Dr. Malachi Z. York ill and you want his children of him being a quote-unquote so-called child molester, and you speak for supporting him?
So Zen Garden, your question, you have the right to ask that question. I don't know everybody's background of people come on my panel. I don't think any person on the planet Earth know the background of everybody that come on their panel unless they have 2-3 people. But once we know, what do we do with this? You see? Now, let's see. And you know what, I'm at it because I see you put so many messages, but it doesn't look like there's any answer. Zen Garden, how many people have you raped in your life? How many people have you molested in your life? Just for the record, let's see. I'm going to be more direct now, and I'm expecting an answer. It would be cool if you answer, So he added, you need to start checking people's background before entering the panel. Why? Why do I need to do that? I mean, you come in here telling me what I need to do? Okay. Oh, he was quick then. He was quick. He answered 0. You see? Efficiency. He was quick then. Thank you for answering, Zen Garden. Congratulations for once you answered the question. Zen Garden said that he has raped 0 person in his lifetime and he has molested 0 person in his lifetime. But amazingly, when I kept asking you, how do you feel about convicted child molesters getting on Sanetta's studios, you did not answer anything. So now let me ask the question again. How do you feel, Zen Garden, about convicted child molesters, whether it is the Mighty Hebrew or the highest UPK member? He's deflecting. Whether it is Mighty Hebrew who was convicted for rape in a court of law, or the ISUPK member King Tai, who was convicted, found guilty for child molestation, the ISUPK are on Sanetta's platform on a regular basis. The Mighty Hebrew is on Sanetta's platform on a regular basis, and he is saying, you telling Sanetta what he needs to do. I'm not telling anything. I'm not telling him what he needs to do. I'm asking you, how do you feel, Zen Garden, about convicted child molesters appearing on Sanetta's platform on a regular basis? That's my question to you. Sanetta has the right to invite all the child molesters on the planet Earth if he sees fit. He's allowed to do that. He has a right to do that. That would be more money for him, more cash app, more PayPal. You know what I'm saying? By any means necessary. Some people get down like that. You know what I'm saying? But he knows he wouldn't be good. So he said, Sanetta said, Mighty Hebrew didn't rape that 15-year-old girl. But we have the paperwork here. Here. That's the paperwork here. So, oh, there it is, deflecting. Regular basis, not true. All right. Okay. You want to be specific. We're going to be specific. Zen Garden, how do you feel about convicted child molesters appearing on Sanetta's platform every now and then? It sounds like you're more mad at him. It sounds like you're deflecting, brother. Personal attack. What personal attack? Your technique will not work, brother Zen Garden. How do you feel about convicted child molesters appearing on Sanetta's platform, not only Every now and then, I would say regularly, but you say, oh, regular basis not true. Fine. You'll be nitpicky. You have the right to. They get all the respect in the world. He didn't call them the N word. Can anybody tell you what to do on your? I'm not telling anybody what to do on their channel. It's not working, but you're trying hard, and I'm congratulating you. I'm sure you will receive some congratulations, some tap on the head, maybe a little money, or maybe some little honey, because we have only fine moderators, twerking, booty shaking moderators, and maybe hey, they're like, hey, you did good. There it is. It's like Charlie Murphy's sketch about Rick James. James says, he uses the B word, plural form, and he says, go ahead and have sex with Charlie Murphy. So I don't know if he said, go ahead. Now, Sanetta been taking personal attacks, clown. So he's calling you a clown, Zen Garden. I heard he talked about my mom and dad, and he said that they were liars. I didn't hear it directly from him, but it was reported to me. But that's besides the point. Zen Garden, I am asking you, I presume you are a grown man or woman. Are you a man or woman? Are you a trans? Are you bi? I mean, what are you? Like, what are you? Are you, how do you say androgen? Androgynous? You have both. Some people have both private parts. Like, what are you? What are you? What are you? But anyway, regardless of what you are, how do you feel about convicted child molestation?
6970. I'm sorry, 6970. That's what it is.
Hold on. We heard you, Sir V. Bennett. I think you were talking to somebody, but we heard you. You're not muted. Okay, hold on.
Okay, thanks a lot.
Okay, I've muted V. Bennett because he's having some conversation. So let's see if he answered. He wrote, "Yes, you are. You saying, do I like child molesters on his panel? I didn't say, do you like child molesters on his panel? I asked, how do you feel about convicted child molesters being on his panel?" And he wrote, I can't do anything about that. I didn't ask you if you can do anything about that, my brother or sister. I'm asking you, how do you feel about that? Then he wrote, just like I can't do anything about you lying to other people. Okay, you want to deflect again? Feel free to tell me which lie I have told, Then you wrote, you're doing he said, she said, gossiping. He said, she said? That's Enki. That's not he said, she said. But it's clear you don't want to answer. I gave you plenty of chances, and now you need some holidays. You appear to be tired to me. You look like you need some rest to me. So this is what we're going to do. Thank you for your contributions. It's crazy how those people can say so much, but they cannot answer a simple question. How many times did I ask him the question? How does he feel? So, Sanetta, feel free to send some other people. Moderators of the House of Rape, feel free to send some other people, and you can, try again. But for those who want to speak directly, so it's quicker, and they can have me in a corner. They can have me embarrassed. They can have me uncomfortable. Who knows what they will bring? Maybe they have some paperwork on me. Maybe they have some allegations on me. Well, feel free here. Link to get on the panel. Anybody's welcome.
Yes.
Feel free, Bennett.
Yeah, they're not going to send any. No, none of them are going to come direct like that, Shaka, because
not direct.
I mean, yeah, they're not going to come direct, and the sideways thing is just, it's not really working because it don't solve the main problem. And the main problem is they still got to answer anyway. And when you've been up to something and you have to answer for it, all that happens is you spill more of the truth, right? And so I don't see them.
Sorry, Bennett, you're going in and out. You said when you're up to something, and then what did you say after that?
Yeah, when you're up to something and you try to explain it away, you end up spilling more of the truth. And that's been the case. More things come out that cause more questions to come. It's like a circle. It's just a revolving circle. It just keeps going on and on. So coming at you sideways or direct, it doesn't help their situation. And if they don't see that, I'm even sure that they see it. They may not even be sending these people here. These people just may be reacting because they seeing someone that they believe in and they finding out some truth. And then the natural thing is like when you believe in something and you find out that it's not that true, some people try to fight it off. It's like, that's their natural instinct. But I don't even think that, you heard Sanetta on his own channel say Frenchie and this is, so he's sending some people, but that's more like an instinct, a reaction, less than a plot, I think. It's just he can't control it, bro. Can't control it. And I think the followers too, the ones that come at you, it's just as simple and basic also.
Right now, we don't really hear you. You said the followers and those that come at me. Maybe you need to move, I don't know, the headset or.
You hear me now?
Yeah, now we hear you, brother.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah,
sorry. Let me take my headphones off. I don't even need them, actually. I think the followers, even Sanetta's reaction, it's a reaction. It's not really thought through. It's like he have to just lash out that way out of anger. It's not an action as much as it's a reaction. And the same thing with the followers. When they come at you, it's more of a reaction because they finding out that what they thought was real is not real. So they're reacting to it. But the problem with this is that no matter what they do in the reactions, they spill more of the truth. So the conversation doesn't help Sanetta at all. So he's not going to want to explain. He doesn't want nobody confronting you that wants an explanation. Even if he did, it wouldn't work to his advantage because more truth comes out. So I don't see how he's going to get out of it. He should just realize that attacking you won't solve his main problem. The main problem will still exist. And it ain't even about him. It's about that whole community that allow pedophiles and rapists to just run free. Now, the brother said that, how come you don't talk about the ones in France? Well, where is the channel with them on it over here in France so we can get on them? That's just it. I mean, these guys are like superstars. They put their face out front and then they go out there and promote people that go on the street and tell you their philosophy of pedophilia. So what do they expect the world to do? The world sees that media and reacts. I mean, if they wasn't on YouTube promoting it, there wouldn't be a problem. They wouldn't have a problem with us reacting. So I think they should go back to the people that decided to go on YouTube and promote that stuff and point the finger at them and say, hey, what y'all doing? They won't do that though.
And for the record, this is where he said there are child predators in France. Why we're not talking about that? I did actually talk about child predators in France. I did talk about it. I did talk about the Pan-Africans who defend and support rapists and pedophiles, child molesters. I did that, and that's the number one reason why Pan-Africans don't like me, and I talked about it for years, So, that's a nice try, but it's amusing to see how he's, trying to go here, trying to go there, But like you said, Frankie attacking me does not help him. It doesn't. You know what I'm saying? You can say all those things, use all this profanity, but the question is, did he have sex with that 15/16-year-old girl when he was in his 30s? Nikki Chanel from Harlem. We were even told some geographic location. You know what I'm saying? We've seen Sanetta looking down, looking uncomfortable. Like, who is she? I'm talking about you wouldn't know. He didn't say no, I didn't do it. Strange.
Yo, man. I know I seen a brother, I saw a brother in an organization, right, get accused of harassment, right? Sexual harassment. Something like that. And the brother, none of the rest of us knew if the brother had did it. None of us knew because we weren't there, right? But we became aware of the allegations, right? So we approached the brother to ask him to find out, hey man, do you know anything about this? Like, what is this about, right? And he was like, no, I don't know anything about it. Blah blah blah. He went on that rant, and then a couple of days later, we got an official letter, right? We got a letter, and we read the letter. And the letter indeed had these allegations answer, right? So then we approached the brother again and said, hey, you need to know about this, right? And the brother, we tried to advise the brother how to respond because we don't know. We don't know the details. We don't know anything. Well, we helped the brother write a letter, but the brother's ego was so big, he changed the letter. He added some stuff to the letter, right? That was damning to himself. And then he sent the letter back. And long story short, the brother destroyed his entire career pretty much because the people he was writing to really actually got a big network of professionals. You see what I mean? And he was just so stupid, he didn't realize that was going to walk with him. So long story short, that's just allegations. You know, those aren't even charges. Those are just allegations. But when we look at these brothers, right, and how they handle it, and you judge their response is the same, stupid. You see? And sometimes the response can be just as telling as the criminal charges, if you may. You know what I'm saying? Let alone if there's no criminal charges, the response can be even more damning if there's no criminal charges. Because if your response shows, sometimes your response shows more about who you are that disappoints people than, you know, anything else that they would ever know anyway. And so, you know, I think intelligent minds recognize this about Sa, and in general, that this community, how people respond to stuff, is not responding in a intelligent manner or in a respectful manner for the community, for even themselves, or even the people that's making these claims. It's just buffoonery, stupidity. Yeah, man, it's just going to hang around as long as they wanted to hang around. They're going to keep up with it. It's the stories, people reacting, making reaction videos, going to hang around too. They are the ones in control. You know, stop asking Shaka to stop.
And you know, here we have someone with a username Gossip Men Who Act Like Females, and he wrote, "Bring back great information again." Just this morning, I mean, it's morning for me, but just today, well, it's morning in America as well. Just today, I have uploaded another video from a museum, you know, and I've been doing that every day for probably a couple of weeks. But people don't care about that. They don't comment on that. So that's for the record. And this evening, if you want, we have Christopher Davis who will talk about medicine in ancient Egypt. The other time we talked about what was it again? Systematic racism. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, then he added, if Sanetta did that, show record. Show record of what? Show record of him having sex with a 15-year-old girl? How do you show record that he had sex with a 15-year-old girl? But we have at least 3 people who said that he was in a relationship with a 15-year-old girl, that he even went to jail for a year and came back and got with the girl again. So then she must have been 16, maybe 17, and he was in his 30s. He was said that he was 33. You know what I'm saying? So it sounds like when Tozayak was asked if he was accused of molesting his niece or having sex with his, I forgot the exact word. But let's see the exact word I was used, because I'm going to say, oh, no, they misquoted the facts.
Are you accused of molesting your wife's niece, who is your niece through marriage?
I have no recollection of that. You would have to inform me of what you're talking about. I have no recollection of that.
Okay, I will be able to one day.
So the question was, you know, were you accused of molesting your wife's niece, you know, which is your niece to marriage? I think that's what she added. You know, he answered, I have no recollection of that. You have to tell me what you're talking about for me to recall, blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying? Strange answer. Strange answer, you know. So that is not gossiping, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, now then we have Cheryl Comic who wrote, I love your platform. I was drawn. Oh, and I forgot to say, bring back the information again. Sanetta himself dealt with Africa Bambaata's child molestation issues, and I've shown all the videos where he's been talking about this. But you know what? I can do a quick search now. We can do this together, just for the record. And that's going to answer the next comment as well. So let me just show you, brothers and sisters. Let me just show you. Because some of you, unfortunately, sound ridiculous. You see? So if I put Sanetta I put Africa Bambaataa. What are the results? Or maybe I should put House of Consciousness. So House of Consciousness, Africa Bambaataa. Now here, it's large enough. 6 years ago, now they're going to say it's old stuff maybe. House of Consciousness, 99,000 views. Black News 102, Press Conference Part 2, Africa Bambaataa, Child Molestation. Black News 102 was renamed Sanetta Studios. So it was information then. You see? Now, 3 years before that, he had Africa Bambaataa 40th anniversary Pioneers of Hip Hop. Now here, who do we have again? House of Consciousness, Dr. Ali Muhammad, and Reggie, the butler. He says Dr. Reggie, but you know, he's not a doctor. Here we see Reggie here, looking down, every time we talk about child molesters, Reggie's not happy. He's looking down, he's looking uncomfortable. Update on Africa Bambaataa. Oh, another one. Who's there? That's Frankie. That's Frankie. That's Sanetta himself. Dang. And the title is Dr. Ali Muhammad. That's the guy who showed the fake PhD degree. That's the guy who said that he hates Africa. I've played the video. That's the guy who said there was no such thing as Kemet. There's no such thing as a civilization of Kemet. It was a civilization of Moors. That's the same guy who showed Prince Edward's, the king, Prince of Wales. I'm sorry. Is it King Edward's, the Prince of Wales? But anyway, he said that the guy was black, basically. But anyway, I've shown that before as well. So Dr. Ali Muhammad take on the Africa Bambaataa molestation. So amazingly, it is information when Sanetta talks about it. Now, look at what's written on the screen of the thumbnail. It says, hold on, I have to have the mouse away. Sanetta and Dr. Ali Muhammad, and I'm talking about right here. How do you feel about Africa Bambaataa knowing he is a part of your organization? So here I am now asking people, how do you feel about child molesters on Sanetta's platforms? And all of a sudden it's a problem. And we have another one here. Africa Bambaataa, former bodyguard from 89 to 2000, sets the record straight. Here we have what? We have what? Jack Thriller breaks his silence on Africa Bambaataa and much more. That's still House of Consciousness. And another House of Consciousness. This is Ron Savage. This is Ronald Savage. This is the guy who worked on some bill, some law to extend the statute of limitation when people were molested or raped, you know. And I think it went through, but we will have some clarity on that. So, exclusive interview. Did Africa Bambaataa molest Ronald Savage? So I'm not asking. Sanetta can ask that question, but I cannot ask if he had sex, if he slept with an underage Nikki, as it was alleged, as it was said by at least 3 different people, including Inky, who was very close to Sanetta. Sanetta had Inky on his platform plenty of times. You see? So we don't see that guy, the guy who's like into bodybuilding. He used to be a lot with Sa. We don't see him, you know, anymore, you know. But this is Ron Savage. Who is this? That's the Zarya. Dang. And here, House of Consciousness, we have Sankofa. Yeah, Herman. That guy's called Herman. About Africa Bambaataa molestation accusations. So, you know, you need to stop it at this point. You know, I've shown and proven that you are just either misinformed or hypocrites. Let's presume you were just misinformed. So, Shell Comic wrote, I love your platform. I was drawn to it for the information. I missed that. Well, once again, every day for the last 2 weeks, probably, I've been uploading videos from artifacts out of Kemet, out of Africa. Medunet.
You know what?
Yes, brother.
See, they don't. These people that say that, they don't comment on those videos. They don't say, "I like this, Shaka. Thank you for posting it." They don't say anything. I mean, you know, there's no evidence that they are interested in that stuff. So, again, the comments would have more weight if there was evidence to show that, you know, you were interested in the other stuff. But here's the thing. Again, it's like if they weren't spreading these type of concepts like pedophilia openly on the internet, and they weren't doing it as a concept of their religion, religious freedom. And if these things weren't such a big problem in that area, in that vicinity, with Bambaataa, with these cults, all of them kind of getting together, spreading this stuff and being harmful, right? We wouldn't even be talking about it again. So it just is really strange to see people, you know, feel like those comments have weight. The reason why you see these things happening, like Bambaataa, the reason why you see ICGJC, ISUPK, and these philosophies spreading is because they're talking about it and you're not telling them to shut up. That's the problem, you know? So what you got to do is stand up against these things if you want them to stop. And if you want the reactions to stop, you got to stand up against those things to get the reactions to stop. You can't come and say the people that are reacting are the problem. It just makes no sense. That's called victim blaming.
Thank you for that, V. Bennett. And V. Bennett mentioned, you know, the religious aspect. And here it is, you know, that's Bible Gateway, King James Version. We're going to have a look together, you see. So let's have a look. There it is. It is 1 Corinthians chapter 7, you see. And when we go to verse 36, I've been saying 37 lately, I think, you know. It says, but if any man think that he behaveth himself uncommonly toward his virgin, if she pass the flower of her age and need so require, let him do what he will. He sinneth not, let them marry. So what is the interpretation of that? We can hear it from FOPE. Actually, one of Sanetta's latest live stream mentions FOPE. How what a coincidence. Well, I mean, let me just show you. I didn't watch it, of course, but if you go here, if you put Sanetta Studio, you see that? The latest live stream, 12 hours ago. What a coincidence. It says ISUPK versus FOPE. 12 tribe chart debate. Will this ever, okay, he made a mistake, obviously. I want you to see it, you know, sir. Hold on. He obviously made a mistake in the title. He wrote, will this ever debate happen? Who's running? Okay. So that's the latest live stream. So we are with the information. Why? Because we have one guy from FOPE called Konat. What did Konat say regarding this passage of the Bible?
I'm gonna tell you why, because I'm an Israelite and Tazariak Israelite, and I think his doctrine is off compared to what we teach. We both had the same mission, but he's telling the Israelites it's okay to mix race, right? He's telling that they got a doctrine saying that if a child reached a flower, they could be 15 or 9 years old. You can have sex with them.
Okay,
this is what they
now
teach.
you talk about running.
And you all heard how Sanetta moved to another topic. So there it is. Now, for the record, the truth is Road 16 is age of consent in some states. In England, it is the age of consent. So if somebody is an adult and he gets with a 16-year-old girl, then you know there's no problem legally. But it was stated that the girl was 15. You know what I'm saying? But then there's legally and there's morally. But you know, hey, other states are 18, 16 is too young. I don't understand that statement here, because first he says 16 is age of consent in some states. Okay, he's saying that in other states 18 is the age of consent, and that says 16 is too young in other states. I get it now. Now, sure, Comic wrote that is not true. When I like it, I comment on it. Shaka, I was drawn to your teaching. I am not criticizing what you are talking about now. Well, you were drawn to my teaching. Everybody knows that the number one thing, the main thing that I've been talking about for about 18 years, and in April 15, it will be 19 years, is Kemet, Africa. And every day I'm uploading videos with artifacts from Africa. I don't see any comments from you. So you can say it is not true, but it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Now, sometimes people will address topics that will not be of interest to you. Some people that I know I'm subscribed to, they talk about topics I'm not interested in. I don't say anything. I don't complain about it. But here I have people complaining about me touching on child molestation. And I know, I'm not saying it's the case for you, but I know some people have friends, family members who have committed child molestation and they are uncomfortable. You know what I'm saying? Some people have dated or are currently dating people who have committed child molestation. So like, I don't want to talk about this. It is what it is. But we have the right to touch on any topic that we want. I've been talking about Kemet for 18 years. If I want to talk about child molestation for a couple of weeks or a month or 2 or 6 months, what's the first? Jamel Williams wrote, look at these YouTube activists. Y'all a bunch of schoolgirls. And okay, fine. Well, since you want to go there, you're going to go on the holiday. But he wrote, 21,000 subs, 100 views. Stop cloud chasing. I don't know what you're trying to say, but Jamal, okay, let me do this. Sure Comic wrote, in fact, I tried to get on your first class, but for some reason, I can't get to it. Well, if you can't get to it, what can I do for you? It's 2023. It's very easy. But, that's deflecting. That's obviously deflecting. You know what I'm saying? Now, Sure Comic, I have a question for you. How do you feel about convicted child molesters on Sanetta's platform? Are you okay with that? Jamel Williams, same question to you. How do you feel about convicted child molesters on Sanetta's platform? Are you okay with that? And if you too want, I have another question that's more direct. You might feel like it's invasive, but how many people have you raped in your lifetime? How many people have you molested in your lifetime? You got to ask both those questions because there's a difference between rape and molestation. You know what I'm saying? Now, he's insulting me now. He said, you are a bee, come to US and talk stuff, bring your beast, whatever. Okay. Now,
Wow.
it's okay. He needs holidays. He's tired. He needs holidays. So we're going to take care of that. You know what I'm saying? But obviously he doesn't have a problem with convicted child molesters appear on that channel. So I don't know if it's the money or the honey or the OnlyFans moderators or the booty shaking moderators. But obviously you have some interest. You have some interest. Yeah. So we're gonna wait for the other person, whatever. And he added another thing, but I want to make sure that he goes on holidays because he needs rest. He needs rest. So let me just do that. Hold on. There's another comment that he left. He put, you talk about HIV, not rape. Now, before I continue, daggers flying, pseudos crying. Daggers, is he Dagger Squad member? No, I'm not a child molester. I have never raped anybody in my life. I have never molested anybody in my life. I hope you're happy with my answer. Jamel Williams wrote, and notice, brothers and sisters, how we have so many people who come and deflect and not answering the question.
Yeah,
what a coincidence. Now, he wrote, you talk about HIV, not rape. Sa himself talked about AIDS. Sa himself said that he was diagnosed with AIDS. And let me just play it for the record. Here.
You ain't got no proof, nigga, that I went to the hospital and they all told me I had AIDS. I went to like 4 hospitals. And the hospitals was telling me that I had AIDS.
So for the record, it reminds me that yesterday I made a breakdown about how Sanetta can get millions of dollars, because he was misdiagnosed by 4 hospitals. You get a lawyer, you make a lawsuit, you sue those hospitals, and you're gonna get millions of dollars. Now I thought I put the Jamel Williams on I thought it was on holiday because he has another stuff. So yeah, I did not click properly. That's why. Okay, there it is. So then daggers flying, pseudos crying wrote, you could be lying. Well, let me show you something. I did not ask you the question. Daggers flying, pseudos crying. How do you feel about convicted child molesters on Sanetta's platform on a regular basis, who have all the respect in the world? How do you feel about that? And for the record, since you asked me the question, have you raped anybody in your life? Have you molested anybody in your life? Let's have some reciprocity, But when you wrote you could be lying, then demonstrate that I'm lying. Have you ever heard somebody accusing me of that? Have you ever heard somebody making any allegation about that? Now, Wabfong wrote, don't block them. Let them show their true colors. I exchange with them if they're not disrespectful, and if they answer questions. So there's equality. Then I let them on. But the other guy, used the B word and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So he wrote, do this make you feel good? No. Don't deflect. It's not working. I might answer some other questions, but I will get back to the point. How do you feel about convicted child molesters on Sanetta's platform? How do you feel about that? And you haven't answered. Have you ever raped anybody in your life? Have you ever molested anybody in your life? I haven't heard any answer. But for the record, I'm gonna need to reduce that window in order so that it appears. And now I should be able to share it. Oh, hold on. Yeah, I have to reduce that. For the record, this is Mighty Hebrews paperwork. So you say I could be lying. Well, here we have some paperwork. Have you seen some paperwork about me? And it says rape at the top, right? Now, he wrote he deleted comments because he's scared. Well, you still not answering the question. He wrote, I will be next. Watch. Well, you see, you are still here. First, the question was, how do you feel about convicted child molesters on Sanetta's platform on a regular basis? How do you feel about that? The second question is, have you ever raped anybody in your life? Have you ever molested anybody in your life? It's not complicated.
What does he mean by I'll be next?
It means that he'll be next to be deleted. That the comments being deleted. That's what it means. Because he wrote, he deleted comments because he's scared. You sound scared to me because, for the record, here it is. Hold on. When the question get hard, he hide comments. There it is. He's still not answering. So it's strange that you're not answering when we ask you if you ever raped anybody or ever molested anybody. When he asked me the question, if I'm a child molester, I had that comment on. And I said, before I deal with that, I want to answer straight away. And I answered straight away. I've never raped anybody in my life, never molested anybody in my life. I did it quick. But here's that guy. Look at all these messages. This one. Deflecting. He's on the phone. He's getting text messages. He's on the phone with some people getting messages. Okay, say this, say that. Deflect. Let's try to catch him. You know what I'm saying? I know the deal. And then he has the nerve to write. Oh, hold on. What did he say? I was scared. He wrote. Hold on. I thought he said I was scared somewhere. But anyway, here it is. A link to get on the panel. But we know we're not going to get on the panel. You're not even answering the question. Daggers flying, pseudos crying is not answering a simple question. Have you raped anybody in your life? Have you molested anybody in your life? Because let's keep it real, brothers and sisters. We are talking about child molesters. When you throw a rock, the dog that barks, it's the dog that gets hit. So who's most likely to come and attack me and others who speak out against child molesters? Most likely it will be either child molesters themselves or family members. And now here he says, that's not what your baby mama said. What did she say? If you want to go there, try to go there. And that's why you don't see your child. She has taken my child away to Africa without my consent. I've talked about it publicly, so you can deal with that. Fine, you're deflecting. Try hard.
Oh my, really?
They're going to go all the way. But still, it's not answering the question. You know what I'm saying? I've talked about that publicly. I did.
Right.
She abducted my child. She took him away to Africa. You know what I'm saying? For those who don't know, I live in France. She used to live in France. My son was born in France. You know what I'm saying? So now he's trying all the way. Where have you been? It was back. You know what I'm saying? Wab Funk wrote C. Oh man. I mean, anyway, you know what? I've had enough now. But it was a good run from now. But daggers flying, pseudos crying. You can get on the panel. You can get into the real world. Right. It has no content, no video, nothing at all.
Get out the chat.
Yeah, get out the chat and come to the real world.
Hey, Shaka.
Yes,
I
brother.
want to say something, man.
Yeah,
You
feel free.
know, it's really it's like this kind of stuff right here. It's like exposing a lot of people, man. Because here's the thing. You know, we deal with many different topics, right? And but for some reason, you know, when you got on this topic, all hell broke loose. You know, and it's like, okay, yeah, we talk about Kemet, Hebrew Israelites, Christians, whatever the case may be, but then we dealing with this, you know, child molestation stuff. I mean, you know,
Après,
if you don't agree with it, I mean, it's like, okay, why are you even watching? You know what I'm saying? If you don't have any interest in it, why are you even watching? But the fact that you're watching, you know, I would think that, you know, you may be concerned. You know what I'm saying? But to get in the chat and do all this deflecting, you know what I'm saying? When you ask him a clear question, you know, have you been involved in this type of stuff? You know what I mean? How do you feel about these people being on the platform? I mean, you can't answer that. You know what I mean? It's really funny to me. You know what I mean? If somebody asks me that
it's funny to me
question,
as well.
you know, I'm like, no, I don't agree with it. That was one of the reasons why I spoke out on it. And to be honest, like when I first mentioned it on somebody else's platform, I didn't even have all of the information. But it was Mighty Hebrew who told me, hey, go watch this video. And that's when he gave out all of the court records and stuff. And I went and looked the stuff up, you know. And when I looked it up, I'm like, hey, wait a minute. What you saying is not adding up to what's on this paperwork, you know. But I don't get it. Like, are you not against child molestation, rape? I mean, come in and speak on that. You know what I'm saying? And as far as the whole, you know, what you've been addressing this morning about Sanetta, I don't know if that stuff is true or not, but here's one thing I will say, right? The response that he gave, and believe it or not, I watch Sanetta. I like a lot of his stuff. But at the same time, the response that he gave, I don't think it's acceptable. You know, the whole thing was just like this other guy's thought. Are you deflecting? I mean, are you gonna deal with it or not? If somebody brings forth allegations against you and they're not true, you're supposed to defend yourself. You don't deflect from it because when you deflect, it don't look good. If somebody accusing you of something and
I
it's not
agree.
true, the first thing you're supposed to say, "Hey, no, this is not true. It's lies or whatever." But Sanetta didn't say that. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know why he didn't say that. If it's not true, just say no. Look, it's not true.
And it's, you know, it's funny. It's just like Polite who didn't say that, and Jabari spoke on it. You know, I've shared the video. It's on Jabari Osas's on YouTube channel. You know what I'm saying? You know, and you know what? You
Right.
know, I'm going to play for the records because a lot of people don't know so many stuff. There's so many stuff they don't know. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to go here. No, hold on. Here. Oh, yeah, no, I need to unshare this. So I'm going to go here. So I'm going to put.
What's up, Jay Hayru?
Jabari
What's going on, man?
Osaze. I misspelled it, but it's okay. So live. You see, brothers and sisters, that's the only live stream that he has on his channel. See, he has plenty of videos, you know, but that's the only live stream here. And I'm going to share the video. Now you can see the title. I'm going to share it in the chat. You won't have to look for it, brothers and sisters. Qu'est-ce qu'il y a, Merout? C'est quoi ton problème? Laisse ça, Merout. Laisse ça tranquille. So, hold on. Tu veux faire coucou? Okay, she wants to say hello. Dis au tête. Voilà. Okay, dis au revoir. Dis au revoir. Okay, she's happy now. So, I need the link. I'm sharing this in the chat. So there you have it. Title is Brother Jabari response to Brother Polite arrest and Shh, non, tu peux pas. Tu fais trop de bruit là. Non, voilà. She's the troublemaker. She's doing it on purpose, and she's happy doing that. She's seeing that she's disturbing me. You know what I'm saying? So, Brother Jabari responds to Bro Polite arrest and Lion Lexus insinuations. Okay, and let's listen to what Jabari says. I'm going to put it right from the beginning, and I'm going to stop around here, around 7 minutes. All right, but the total stuff is 20 minutes. Okay, so I'm going to mute my mic, and we're going to listen to what Jabari said.
Topic is needs to be addressed. Certainly, this is a topic that needs to be addressed. A topic that
actually I'm going to make commentary. It's going to be even better. Now he said certainly this is a topic that needs to be addressed. So all those people who came here who say all these things, I didn't say tell that to Jabari. It's strange, you know. But let's continue.
Is of critical importance, and I'm truly hoping that we are all prepared to deal with, to address these issues in earnest.
I concur. I hope you are prepared, brothers and sisters.
I really think that this is important, and so
maybe you were just not prepared, brothers and sisters. That's why, you know. But not prepare yourself, you know. Do your push-ups, do your abs, go and jog. You know what I'm saying? Prepare yourself to deal with these issues. You know what I'm saying?
Because of its importance, I think that it ought to
teach, Jabari.
We got to give some thought to what this actually means.
Teach, Jabari, teach.
So, let's begin.
Let's begin, brothers and sisters. Buckle up.
First, let me say to you, I'm not planning on being here long, talking about these issues, but I do want to say to you that there have been a number of things that have occurred that are quite concerning.
Yes, concerning.
That I'm sure that you are aware of.
I'm sure you are aware of as well.
I really need to say to you that first, let's begin with the allegations, and the arrest and the subsequent arrest of Brother Polite. It is so important for us to acknowledge that the charges that have been levied against Brother Polite, and in fact his subsequent arrest, are very serious. They're very serious. And I do know that there are some of you who would like to say that that we should simply wait until all of this is adjudicated in court. And clearly, I think that we should recognize that, of course, it is going to be adjudicated in court. Of course it is. Of course, this is something that is so serious, that the allegations are so vile that they will be adjudicated in court. It is not our role to convict Brother Polite before that occurs. However, I'm going to say to you, when the allegations are as serious as they are, we need to take them seriously. And in taking them seriously, I think it should be pretty clear that we should expect Brother Polite to be on timeout. At the very least. At the very least, he needs to sit down and not do the things that he had been doing. I think that I've been concerned by some of...
Now, the first main point, Jabari says that he thinks Brother Polite should be on timeout. Sanetta himself said in the past that whether Polite will be found guilty or innocent, Polite would not be on the channel anymore. And Sanetta said, now, besides the case, the upcoming case, the court date is scheduled for May 1st. Regarding that, Sanetta said that whether Polite is found guilty or innocent, Polite will not be back. Before that, we have Sanetta on tape saying that he called him Dr. York, Baby York. And I have Sanetta on tape when he came on my platform saying that he was exposing Polite. But the reason why he's not addressing this is because he basically lost money. Let's hear it from Sanetta's mouth.
When I came out, Brother Shaka, and I tried to expose Polite, and I accused Polite of being Dr. York, I exposed him. Guess what happened, Shaka? I came out first. And damn near everybody on YouTube came down on me, banged on me, said I was just jealous. You can go and check the video. That nigga Sanetta jealous of Polite. He just mad because Polite is in Hollywood. Polite driving the cars. I said, oh, okay. All right, motherfuckers. That's cool. I'm jealous. All right, whatever. And so now he's in a situation again. And they expect me to jump out the window for their bitch ass again, Shaka. Hell no. I'll wait until we see the charges.
All right. So he said it out of his own mouth. He said, I was exposing Polite. All right. But then people said he was jealous. So he lost, obviously he lost support. Right. Now let's continue with Jabari.
There's only one way to call it, flossing, that he's been doing on social media during this time. I will say to him, as someone who I know, that I'm aware that it is not smart for him to talk specifically about the actual situation that occurred, the things that led to his arrest. But I am not aware of an attorney that would say that you should not say that you are innocent. And I think that that is what I need to hear him say. That is what we all need to hear him say. I didn't do this. I'm innocent.
Bars. That's bars. We heard Jabari. Jabari is the Floyd Mayweather of the House of Consciousness. His words holds weight. I heard Sanetta say that he was part of Jabari's organization. So it is what it is. Jabari cannot force Sanetta to do anything, but we're talking about morality right here. Now we have Tonya Douglas. Non, on va manger, mais tu as déjà pris déjà. Tonya Douglas wrote, you like his information. That's when Jeheru said, he likes, Sanetta's channel.
Yeah, she talking about me.
Yeah. So she wrote, what true information has he presented other than division? And she added very seriously, yet everyone support his sexual deviant behavior at the time. Now he's talking obviously about Polite. She's talking about Polite. Yet your boy Sa supported him every chance he could get. Did that interview with him right before the allegation. He was flossing his deviant lifestyle before the arrest. And Ching Ching, non, tu fais trop de bruit, Meroud. Ching Ching shared some video where we could see Polite with some tranny, they're dancing and stuff like that. I mean, everybody do what they want to do. It's just, everybody have their choices.
Hey, Shaka.
Yeah, feel free.
For the record, I want to say this to Tanya. So about all that stuff that Ching Ching show, I don't know if she's seen it, but I wouldn't wear all of that. And it's a whole lot of things. See, a lot of people have the notion that we know what's going on, with these different people. But honestly, I know Polite for the information that he brought on the channel, but all that other stuff I didn't know because I never really delved into it. The same thing with this Mighty Hebrew stuff with Sanetta. I've heard little bits and pieces about it, but I never really delved into it until now.
So we are all discovering in real time, but those guys. Hold on. Try to speak, please. I gotta attend to baby girl. I'll be right back.
Yeah, what's up, Hayru? You good?
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying what's up to everybody out there. Also, I was listening to you, man. I had to chime out for a second because I was running a little errand with my daughter, trying to get her some air in her bicycle tires and stuff. And
okay.
But I was listening. But yeah, man, there's people that think we know about all of that stuff going on. No, it's news to us, and people don't have time to be following the ins and outs of these people's lives for 10 years and whatever, And the first time I used to watch this stuff way back when it was about information and the debates about religion and things like that. Okay, so I checked it out, and as soon as I saw them start getting foul, having little dirty tricks, and for one, I didn't like the cursing. For me, I'm not into that as a black man, because to me, when I hear the cursing, it's a signal that violence is about to happen right after. And it ain't nothing anybody going to do about it. So my thought is just like I tune out. When I start hearing, the cursing, you know, I can feel like it just remind me of something I don't want to think about. That is, got to go ballistic on somebody, right?
Yeah.
So I don't appreciate them putting that language out there that way, but they do it. I dealt with that. But when I saw them get kind of tactical and foul, like beyond the cursing, like throwing people's telephone numbers out there and addresses and all of this stuff, I was like, I'm out. I'm out. I can't watch this. I can't be a part of this no more, right? Well, time goes by, and you don't want to. You know, you give people a break. You give them that little system there that they got going on a little break, and you wish for the best. And you come back later, and I was excited when I came back later. I was like, okay. I thought about Shaka, and I was like, let me see if Shaka's still around. Hit Shaka up, and then lo and behold, he going back. He had an invitation to be on Sanetta, so I followed that too. And then that's when all this stuff started popping out. Now, I already knew something was foul about ISUPK and ICJ, you know, just from way back, just from years ago. But I also rolled out. But your deductive and inductive reasoning, if you have intelligence, some people just smarter than others, they can deduct things. They know that if a person has this kind of thing going on, then there's something else connected to it, right? So I could deduct that there's worse things going on. But when you see them promoting this stuff, that puts the pieces together. Then you say, aha, that's what they had going on. They got pedophilia going on. They got rape going on. I suspected they didn't treat women too well, because when I went up in their camp, you never see no women really. Or if you see them, they only got certain roles and then they out. So I suspected that, but I didn't have no real insight into it, detailed information. I'm just surprised myself to find out that it's way, way, way worse. Like, just too many of them are a part of this and been covering it up. And my thoughts are just that now it's about to explode. They all about to go in on each other. They're going to share all the information about each other. They're going to, you know, the house is just going to fall. And I don't mean about Sanetta. I just mean all the people that's surrounding it. You know what I mean? Because New York, we can't ignore the fact that, wow, Bambaataa from New York, Sanetta from New York, the ISUPK cats he talking about that he puts on his platform, they from New York, you know? And so when I put all those things together, I just say, hey, New York, stand up to y'all stuff, man. Just deal with it, because y'all become, these platforms are becoming a problem, and YouTube will let y'all promote this stuff because they're making money off of it. So that's another issue. But the reality of it is that when we see people walk around and promote these kind of things in our community, and we see them exist, it's a real sign that there's something wrong in our community, and that should be the first point that we address. You know, just as Black people, you know, we should be addressing our own community and what we allow in it and what we don't allow. Pedophilia is something that destroys everything. It destroys the whole fabric of the community. It creates distrust. It creates trauma. You know, trauma people got to live with the rest for the rest of their lives. A lot of people. Look at Hassan Campbell. You see him. Look what you seen his last live post. You see what they talking about? The same thing. You know, it just makes me just say, hey man, I mean, Melly Melon was right. You know, it's like it ain't what's that rap song they used to have about New York? New York, New York, sweet city of dreams. But
Big city
everything
of
in New
dreams.
York ain't
And
always what
always
it
what it
seems.
seems. You might get
It might
food if
be
you come from
fun
out
when
of
you come
town.
from out of town, but I'm down by the yeah, too much, too many people, too much, you know, and he's gonna start rapping about a pedophile. Boom. So
Sorry, what did you say? You start rapping about a pedophile?
I mean, they rapping about all that. Yeah, they rapping about all of it, man.
But how do we know they were
All of
talking
it.
about that? How do we know?
Not only a pedophile, but he got a line in there about pedophiles too, man. It's like, you know.
Oh, you know, I never even heard that song. The only song I knew was like the remake or remix, basically the Dog Pound with Snoop Dogg. You know, that they filmed in New York, and they even got shot up. You know, I mean their trailer was shot up. But okay, I'm gonna look for the original version. So it's good. So it's the Furious 5, right? Is it?
Yeah, I think that was the Furious Five.
Furious
I think that
5,
was the Furious Five.
and then it's New
And
York. So they had a line about you. Okay, all right, I didn't
I
know.
think they got some. Yeah, man. I mean, they
Okay.
got. Yeah, of course. But listen. People should not be fooled. Listen, this is an issue that the question of age and legality that has changed since the past generation. The past generation didn't have a similar concept, right? But that's not an excuse. The reality is that the age thing is just one dimension to it. Rape, that's violence. These kind of rapes that we talking about, this is like pure violence, right? And so we have to be able to address that in our community. We have to be able to address it because it's affecting our boys and our girls. And when we try to just brush it to the side, it's not only about polite. It's not only about this crew around Sanetta. It's not only about Bambaataa. This is an issue in our communities, and it's an issue that most people don't want to deal with because you got to talk. A lot of times, you got to talk about a loved one. You got to talk about a family member, uncle, or So we shouldn't be surprised about it. The people that we're talking about, they shouldn't take it like they shouldn't just think about themselves. Like, why are you pointing the finger at me? In my view, the way they should respond is that this is a real problem. It's something that our community have to address for us to move forward with, and it's a good thing to talk about because we can help young men and young women avoid it too. We can help young men understand that, hey, you don't want to be a part in that. You want to be cautious. You want to know how old a young lady is when you're dealing with her, and you can be responsible about it. And we want to tell young ladies that, hey, we understand you. We're going to protect you, that you should speak up if this is going on, that you don't have to be afraid if to speak up, young boys or young women. But these guys, they present the exact opposite picture. They present the picture of don't speak up. If you speak up, we're gonna harass you. If you speak up, we're gonna come after you. If you speak, and that's the problem. They really paint an ugly picture for themselves, and the picture is so ugly, it ain't going to just go away, and people not going to just stop talking about them. So they can hang that one up.
And thank you both of you brothers, Jeheru and Vibene, for holding me down when I had to attend to baby girl. Now, what you said is so significant, brother Vibene, because yes, young brothers, some of you are. Hey, c'est quoi ton problème là? Tu wants my seat. So, sometimes you are impressed by the older cats. You can be impressionable, but young brothers, if some older cats try to get you to have sex with minors and you're not a minor, there's gonna be nothing of trouble. And if they try to get you to do that, it's so that you could fit in with them. You understand what I'm saying? Misery loves company. You understand what I'm saying? So beware and be careful. They might tell you, oh, we don't care about the white man's law, or they might tell you, oh man, it is what it is. We do what we do. Anyway, the Bible, 1 Corinthians chapter 7, verse 36 says that they may say, well, the Bible says in 1 Corinthians chapter 7, verse 36, it says that if she passes the flower of her age, then it's okay. Which means that as long as she has a period, then it's okay. And then you can end up like the GMS dude saying in the street, like I've played, some people have not seen it, but they're saying that, if a girl has a period, it's okay to have sex with her, even if she's 9 years old. You understand what I'm saying? So young brothers, beware. And young sisters, indeed, speak out, at least to your family members, your parents, uncles, aunties, because the more people will speak out against these things, and the less these things will happen. You understand what I'm saying? And amazingly, V. Bennett mentioned Hassan Campbell. Sanetta is not cool with Hassan Campbell. But it seems like there's a pattern. Anybody that speak out against child molestation, Sanetta is not cool with them. What could be the reason? What could be the reason? So, yeah, go ahead, brother.
No, I was going to say, New York is a big city, right? So you got a lot of people. DC is a small city. You don't have a lot of people. So the way people operate is a bit different. because everybody got family members on each part of town. You see what I mean? Everybody knows, you know, the roots are a little different how people roll there, right? So I think I would suspect that, you know, when I look at it as when people elevate, when people elevate in New York and they get platforms, this kind of behavior comes, you know, gets brought to the front. You know, your past gets brought to the front. And I think these cats, when you're in close proximity, the Bronx is not far from Harlem. The Bronx is just over the river from Harlem. You know, I know New York because New York is like my second home. It's like you know, I spent a lot of time living in New York, you know, so, but I lived in Brooklyn. But I know cats from the Bronx, Queens, and things like that, you know, New York in general. But when they're in close proximity to each other, there's a lot of competition. But there's that music industry. Some of these cats are so big, they affect a lot of people. A lot of people are drawn to them. And I think that's where the problem becomes, you know, when they know things about each other. And if they don't know things about each other, they know somebody that does, or they know somebody that knows somebody that does. And I think, to me, that's what I'm seeing. You know, that's what I feel when I see these conflicts happen. Like, they know each other, or they know somebody that knows each other. And that's why it's easy to have a conflict, even though they all say they're against the same thing. That's the ironic part. They all say they're against this behavior. I mean, but, you know, if you've been engaging in it, or if you got a past that is involved with people that have engaged in it, all those things come to light. And that's what you see. That's what I see anyway. So, you know, it's just how you get it, man. You know, New York's a fast city. People trying to pay the bills. You know, people afraid to be living on the streets, man. Them New York streets is hard streets to be living at, homeless in the cold. You know what I'm saying? It's a hard city. You know, cats is living in the train tracks. You know, so when you live there, you see that. You see how low you can go and how high you can go. And a lot of people moving so fast just to get to the high part because there's safety in the high part. I was in the music industry myself for a short time. And even though I didn't see, I learned some things, and I saw some things about psychology. You know, like the executive that I was working with, you know, he used to read psychology books. You know, I ran and went to his crib one day just on the low, just to say what's up and pass a message on to him. And he had a whole bunch of books about psychology right on his desk. You know, when a person have books right out on their coffee desk, those are the books they read, right? So, you know, right then I was like, okay, it gave me a deeper understanding of how people roll in New York, right? But the thing about it is that the music industry is a cesspool. The New York industry is a cesspool. Women is getting, you know, getting raped, or people are being made to do things that they otherwise wouldn't do for contracts, for jobs. Men, is so full of that. So not only is there this psychological game going on, but it plays out into violence too, like the sexual violence, dude. And so for people to pretend like they don't know about that, it's just wrong. You don't have to pretend no more. Everybody that's been a part of the music industry done heard about it, you know, something, or they know somebody that's been, you know, maybe affected by it somehow. And when you couple that with this age thing and the misunderstanding about age, people think that it's okay to be a predator and go after a young girl, you know, because, you know, wow, she's only 16 or she's only 17. No, man. Again, people need to realize that our brains don't develop fully until we like in our mid-20s. It's not 16. It's not 18. Your human brain does not develop fully until you're 25, 27-year-old. So these people are impressionable. And when you're in a city where power means everything, power means the difference from being on the street or having some protection, some cover, that power gets used every day. So I just hope Sanetta and the rest of them can figure out, not just Sanetta, Hassan Campbell. I wasn't impressed with Hassan Campbell. I thought, like, my thoughts about Hassan Campbell is he knows some more of the victims. He know more of Hassan Vic. That's what I get from his story. I'm like, if you're a victim and you're really fighting for justice, you're supposed to say what you know from the beginning to put the end to it, right? Because it kind of make it look like when you don't, that you're up to something else, right? That you know, because if you know information, then what can you use that information for? You see? So in my mind, a person that just want to wash their hands with it would just throw it all out there on the line and be gone with it. You see what I mean? So I think New York streets, man, they grimy. They grimy. And not necessarily grimy in a way that you could expect some decency, you know, to be, you know, a lot of cities are rough. A lot of people have to deal with gangs and things like that. But that don't mean it's totally grimy. Totally grimy. You see, but New York, you seeing some grimy stuff, man. It's the grimiest of the grime. You know, that's what I'm saying.
Antonia Douglas wrote, "Power often equates to corruption." There was a song from Rascas featuring the Reza from the Wu-Tang
Oh,
Clan.
absolutely.
Yeah, and it
Power,
says in the chorus,
yeah.
yeah, power corrupts. Absolute power corrupts. Absolutely. You know, I mean, at this point, it's interesting, but it's good for people to see that. Now they notice, hey, we look bad in the chat. So they stop. Probably somebody say, oh, you guys stop now. You know what I'm saying? But they try to deflect, but dang, man, simple questions. Those guys break down ancient history thousands of years ago. We've seen the GMS dudes, talking about, oh, the word in Hebrew is aina, which means to force, blah, blah, blah. So they break down all these things. And we in here, asking, how do you feel about child molesters going there? And they ask about everything in the world besides, besides answering the question. To me, it is suspect. It is very suspect. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean,
Rape,
yeah, brother. Feel
yeah,
free.
yeah. And rape is a tool of war, man. Rape is a tool of war. You know, they get in there and start raping kids and start raping women because they know the effects are going to last later. You see what I mean? It creates so many challenges. Think about the victim who wasn't protected by nobody. Think about how the victim might think. The victim might think, wow, my parents ain't protect me, my community ain't protect me, nobody protected me. That creates hate. That creates just, some very deep hate. You see what I mean? And you can't, those are things that are hard to eradicate if people don't understand them. You see? So yeah, I think that's the concern we need to have. When you have these things running around in your communities, you're really producing hate. You
Yeah, and
know,
that makes me think about Creed. I went to watch Creed 3. In Europe, it was released on was it March 1st or 2nd? It's on Wednesdays that the movies are released, so it must have been hold on. Yeah, March 1st, And I don't want to do a spoiler, but we have a backstory of Adonis Creed, played by Michael B. Jordan. Um, and when he was a child, he was physically abused by like the foster father, and you kind of wonder at one point if he wasn't like more than physical abuse, if it was actually sexual abuse. But then he talks about it, and it's actually that he was getting beaten, severely, And when he crossed path with the guy who used to beat him when he was a child, I mean, he lashed on him. You know what I'm saying? And ultimately, because of that, his friend went to jail. So that's it. I don't want to do any spoiler. Good movie, but yeah, things that people went through, particularly when they are children, can be damaging, traumatizing, and yes, it can create hate. I mean, we already many black people have low self-esteem. A few days ago, I think some of you heard it. We have a political dude. I think it's the first black mayor of a particular city, and he's on tape saying he doesn't care about black people. He doesn't do anything for black people. He only cares about white people and their votes. Have you heard that, brothers? You haven't heard it?
no, but you
I
know
ain't
what?
heard that.
No,
Oh,
but
okay. Well, I'm gonna look for it, and then just keep
but
keep going. And I'll look for it so I can play it.
yeah, but we have that. We have that every day, though. We have that kind of
Hmm.
reaction too, man. We have black people that are they don't even understand why they have that feeling, you know? They can't articulate why they have that feeling, but it is really like self-hate, or hate for their own kind, and they feel justice. They feel justice when they speak against their own kind that way, outwardly. And it's just something we got to learn. We have to deal with it as a community, but it's good to connect the dots. It's good to connect the dots, and it's not only in the U.S., it's also in Europe. Here in Denmark, where we have a lot of that, and people play on all they need to do. Right wingers, what they do is they go find black people with trauma. They go find black people with mental forms of mental illness, and they prop those people up, and it's so insidious. And but we're behind as a community, because you got to think about it. If another group of people can look at us and play just simply on our own psychology, on our own pain, you see, they can do this. That means, and we don't see it for what it is. We don't see that as a problem. That means we're behind. We got to know how to maneuver and how these things affect our communities, and they do, Shaka, in every way, bro.
Yes, and let me just read this comment here. Curious wrote, "Bro, I used to like your show, but now I'm starting not to watch you." Fine, you have the right to. I'm not gonna lose sleep over it. I don't know why you spend so much time on another man instead of dealing with information. Well, rape is information. Maybe you were not there, curious, but I've shown. But it's always the same talking points, though. We are familiar with them now. By now. Sanetta talked about child molestation, about Africa Bambata. You know what I'm saying? And I even share the link so people can have a look. Look, the link is just, let me show you. Let me show you. The link is right there. No, not this one. That one here. That link right here. So if you click on that link, which is in the chat, you will see all the times, all the different videos that Sanetta made dealing with child molestation when it was Africa Bambata. Sanetta talked on it. Ali Muhammad talked about it. Reggie talked about it. And many others. Sankofa talked about it. It wasn't information then. But now some guru said that's not information. So you guys run around and repeat it's not information. So
Hey,
it's not
Shaka.
just another man. Hold on, Jeheru. It's not just another man. There's Mighty Hebrew. There's the ISUPK member called Kinta. Both of them were convicted in the court of law for child molestation or rape. You know what I'm saying? So it is just not just one man. But go ahead, Jeheru.
Yeah, what I was gonna say, man, for for the people who making those type of comments, um, I mean, just say you don't want to talk about convicted child molesters.
Yeah,
I
it's
mean, just go
quicker.
ahead and say that. Instead of, I like when you talk about the information. Information is information. We have historical information. We talk about religions. We talk about artifacts. But information is information. Now, you may not like it, but it's still information.
Yeah,
That's
facts.
all I wanted to say on that. Just say you don't want to talk about, you don't care about child molesters and rape. Just say that if that's how you feel, because that's what it sounds like.
Yeah, that sounds like to me. But for the record, brothers, I found that thing about the black mayor. So here it is. It says the first black mayor of Montgomery, Alabama, allegedly caught on tape. I'm sorry, called on recording saying he's looking out for white people's money. So I don't know if it is him. It is allegedly him. But let's listen. It's only 39 seconds long.
I can come smile. I don't fucking have to do no goddamn work. Okay? I don't have to do no work systemically, and I'm gonna be fine. And guess what? I will always get 38 to 45% of the white vote. If I get 30 to 45% of the white vote, I don't fucking have to damn get the white vote like I just passed election. I'll fucking win. You got black city, that's great. You can have all black everything. And guess what? You won't have green nothing. White money thinks that you are looking after their shit, they will take their shit to Prattville, they will take their shit to Pike Road, and you won't have shit.
So you heard it for the record. I'm going to share the link for the people who want to listen to it again.
That's so interesting.
Yeah, it's interesting because I can see somebody being like, man, I don't care about this children who molested. You know, I want that money. I want this cash out. I want this paper. I want this debates. I don't care.
Right. Exactly. It parrots that, you know, it parrots it. And what's also interesting is when you want to speak politically against the Black community, you don't actually have to be articulate or know much. You just have to express disdain for something Black, and it works, and you get votes. You know, it's just it's pathetic, man. But yeah, you know, I still have faith.
So do I, brother. I still have faith. You know, I understand. I mean, the guy, regardless of the bots, he has some subscribers, and so he's very careful telling people, I don't want people to say the name. Obviously, when he says that, it means somebody has put the name in the chat. And probably after he said that, some OnlyFans moderators or other moderators, whether they are booty shaking or twerking moderators, went on and deleted the message where my name appeared. He doesn't want people to know who it is. So if they go on my channel, they will see all these receipts. They will see the paperwork about the guy who was convicted. They will hear Tazariak of his own mouth saying that ICPK member was convicted for child molestation, but yet he still supported him financially. You know, this is damaging, you know, and now he knows that people will be aware about Nikki, you know, because some people like Minister Enki has alleged on tape that publicly, that is, that's what it means when I say on tape, that Frankie was sleeping with a 15/16-year-old girl when he was in his 30s. You know what I'm saying? It's a bit inconvenient. You know what I'm saying? What have happened in the past, you can't go back. You know what I'm saying? I don't think he will go to jail for that. I don't know how long the statute of limitation is, but you know, whatever you did that was wrong, you know, don't be mad at people for that. Don't encourage that. Don't protect that. You know what I'm saying? You know, we should have as grown men, we should have the courage. It's not even courage, but as grown men, you should say, okay, no, child molestation is not cool, or rape is not cool. You know what I'm saying? And no, oh, that's my friend, that's my homie. Oh, you gossiping, you're slandering. This is old news. We have the receipts. You know what I'm saying? So I do have faith indeed, you know what I'm saying? Because more and more people now are coming out and speaking against that, you know what I'm saying? And it's important, you know what I'm saying? Jabari spoke against that. He did, he's on tape. You know,
Exactly.
he said Polite should be on timeout. You know what I'm saying? But then again, you
Right.
know, because I'm
But
not
did
living in America.
Sanetta listen to him? Did Sanetta
Oh,
follow his advice?
I don't think he did. Sanetta will listen to anything that will bring him paper, and it's all good for him or anybody else to get paper. I mean, in this society, we need money to live, but integrity is important as well. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Because
but Jabari, he ain't gonna roll like that. Jabari ain't gonna roll like that. And most of those cats, most of the brothers and sisters that actually mean something positive for the community, they don't roll about the paper. Everybody knows we need money, but we're not so pathetic that we have to do things about paper. Jabari got a PhD. He's not suffering for a 9 to 5.
it doesn't have a PhD. I don't think so.
Oh,
But
he don't have a PhD.
No, he has a bachelor's degree.
He got a bachelor's.
Yeah.
Where's he working at?
I was told that he's giving lessons at some school, but
Yeah.
on his website,
Oh, he's a teacher, right?
yeah, he gives his credentials on his website. But
Yeah.
I heard him say that he was working on a PhD, but it's not an accredited school.
Right.
It's an online like metaphysical school. So, but he has he has a bachelor's of science degree in human services and African studies from Cornell University. So, you know,
Right.
it's
So
not to
he's
to
not.
diminish, you know, his information,
No.
and you know, it's just you know,
But
to
if
be
he
accurate.
Right, but if he got a bachelor's in history from Cornell, then he's not suffering for no peanuts. He's not going. He's not going. He's not going because the people have a network. Black people have a network. You know what I mean? Educators have a network. You know, and when you have some integrity and morals, that takes you a long way through that network. You know, and they mean something. They mean something. They got international networks. You know, so you know, I think we're dealing with something else though when we talking about the house of consciousness. We're dealing with a different element, and that is no morals, you know, poor ethics, criminality. I think that's what we're dealing with, and that's why they going out with this fight this way, you know, because they don't see conflict in interest. They don't see the ethical conflicts. They don't see the moral conflict, you know, so they're going to go down like that. But there's a place where they're going to learn. They're going to learn in the streets or they're going to learn in the prison. You see, and the streets are hard. The streets can be hard. They're lucky. They actually lucky, man, because them streets can be, they're unforgiving too. They're unforgiving. You know, I doubt you're going to run around too long being, you know, doing these kind of things. Once people catch on to what you're doing, them streets dangerous, man.
Yeah. And you know what you say about, you know, the ethics. Now, some people sell narcotics to survive, but they're not going to promote that. They're not going to say, "Oh, it's okay. Don't bring another black man down." So what's going to be next now? They're going to have live streams talking about, "Hey, you do what you got to do to survive." And if you talk about it, it's gossiping, it's slander and stuff like that. I mean, we don't see those guys making excuses publicly, defending it, saying it's my brother anyway. You know what I'm saying? I mean, come on. And child molestation, rape is worse. Child molestation is rape of children. And some people will argue, you know, technically it's not rape. Okay, fine, whatever. But sexually abusing children, that should not be defended or diminished by anybody on the planet Earth. And this is what those guys are actually doing, deflecting. You know what I'm saying? It's ridiculous. And they're sending all those people again. Go ahead, brother.
In some cases, no, man. Look, because you know, in some cases, what they're doing is worse than drug dealing. I hate to say it, but in some cases, you know, it's unimaginable because drugs are dangerous today. They got all kinds of psycho drugs today. Drugs people couldn't even imagine when I was a teenager, right? When I was a teenager, the drugs that was out there that you could sell on the street was weed, boat, PCP, and coke.
Now
those were,
meth,
you know, by today's standards, those are looked at as innocent. You know, it's like, you know, by today's standards, man. But the thing is that so the psychological stuff that these guys are spitting with these cults, they are actually worse. They're worse than what cats was selling in the 90s. To be honest, because look, you know, I mean, they've proven that already. You know, I don't want to say PCP. You know, you could go to an insane asylum. You know, taking that the wrong time of day. But I mean, cats is going to the insane asylum coming out of ISUPK, right? People are dealing with PTSD coming out of ISUPK. That's what happens in cults. So how is it? You know, it's actually just as bad, and in some cases worse than some of those drugs. You know, and pedophilia, what you going to do? You're going to be a victim of it and walk away from that? I mean, Hassan, look, R. Kelly. Look what happened to him. Hassan Campbell, look with him. He out there going nuts, man. He's going nuts. Grown man going nuts. You see what I mean? Not that I don't have empathy for it, but I don't believe everything he said myself. I think there's more to it. Also, I believe Bambaataa is every bit of that monster, and I believe he got enabled, and that there's a lot more monsters to be exposed in that crew. But, you know, you don't walk away from it. And so the sad, and especially the victims, but the monsters should not be allowed to walk away free. They shouldn't be allowed to. And I think that's what we're seeing here. The problem is the monsters want to walk away free. You know, so that's how I look at it, man.
Sad. But you know what? It's gonna be 2 hours. What I'm gonna do actually, I'm gonna play the intro because many people didn't see, you know, the GMS guys talking about they can have sex with a minor as long as she has her flowers and or period. I usually pronounce period instead of period because the elder GMS dude, he said, you know, when they have their period. So that's why many times I pronounce it that way. Maybe it can be pronounced both ways. Maybe it should be pronounced period. But anyway, that's just a detail. So, and they will hear so many instances where Sanetta used to speak out regarding child molestation, but then all of a sudden it switched quick. And you know, some people don't realize that, some people don't peep game. But when there was a way in, you know, I did talk also about the ICPK guy, you know, that was accused for child molestation, and Tazariak, used the opportunity to make me appear like I was slandering, like I was lying on the guy. You know what I'm saying? The irony, once again, for those that don't know, is like the next day or 2 days after the weigh-in, a few days after, at least, is the video of Tazariak on tape saying that he supported that guy was released. So the guy lied to people, and Sanetta, put his spin on it. You know what I'm saying? By saying, that I should not be doing the gossiping. So this was something calculated and planned, but it has backfired. You know what I'm saying? But you will still hear Sanetta all the different times. I mean, well, probably all, but many different times when he spoke regarding those child molesters. You know what I'm saying? The Hebrew Israelites, because they have, I don't want to say the monopoly, but so far they have a very prolific track record when it comes to rape/child molestation. But we understand, because it's part of their doctrine. Some of them interpret 1 Corinthians chapter 7 verse 36 as okay to have sex with a girl as long as she has a period. No wonder so many of them end up with charges and are being sent to jail. Just like some Moorish people, either whether they are from the MSTA or Moorish Science Temple of America or not, have been talking about the sovereignty, and they took over people's property, and many of them ended up in jail. You know what I'm saying? Because it was their doctrine. They were told, oh, okay, legally you can do that, and they did that, and they ended up in jail. You know what I'm saying? So beware, brothers and sisters. So I'm going to play that. But V. Benedict, if you have any closing remarks.
No, I think that's the thing. We don't want to lose sight of the dynamic. It's like it's coupled. You have this pedophilia thing, rape culture, coupled with the cults, coupled with this cult dynamic in our community. And we're one of the communities that, because our community is under fire a lot, because of racism, we often don't want to confront those things because we're confronting our own people instead of confronting the outside world. But the problem is that the outside world that committed those racist injustices towards us, they implanted these things in our community. So it's like a double-edged sword. If we don't confront the sicknesses that they implanted in our communities, it's just as good as not confronting them from the outside. And I think a lot of people get that confused. So we need to move forward and understand that we're in a position to gain a lot ourselves if we get ourselves together. But if we don't get ourselves together, we won't get anything. We will lose, and we may as well be annihilated from the outside. From the diaspora outside of Africa is looking at annihilation any day of the week because we don't have physical power. So the power that we have is diplomatic power. The power we have is that we've added to these communities and helped build these communities. But if we're just going to allow these sicknesses to run free in our community, we're not going to get none of the benefits. We're not going to get none of the benefits. Anything coming to us, we're not going to benefit from Africa rising in the next 100 years, and we're not going to benefit from the change in the politics in the Western world, which is going to have to repay us for our contributions in the Western world. So that's what getting rid of these sicknesses is all about, and getting rid of these clowns, because they just make it easy for us to be targeted, and we should be, for this stuff. Come on, we pay taxes too. So that's my word on it.
I want to show this one more time, and I want to say something to Sanetta. Sanetta, I've played you. I played an excerpt, a video excerpt. We see you and we hear you. And you said the mighty Hebrew did not rape the 15-year-old girl. Now here we have the rap sheet or criminal record, or basically it states that it was rape. We even have the name of the judge at the bottom. Queen's Throne, if you don't mind, can you reply to my email so I know that you received it? Because I did send you the stuff. Now, Mighty Hebrew himself left a comment on my video, and I've played it several times. And he said that it was rape category C, which is known for rape. All right. So he was convicted in the court of law. Now, if you want to say you don't believe he did that, That's fine. Tazariak said it, but Tazariak still said there was a guilty verdict. He was found guilty. And I'm talking about the ISUPK member, King Ta, the musical artist. I don't know if it's rap or whatever. I didn't even listen to his music video. But it's probably rap, you know. So, you telling the people he didn't rape the 15-year-old girl, but yet we have the paperwork, it's a bit of a problem, you know? It's a bit of a problem. So do you want to make amend regarding that? I understand you don't want to answer the question, do you support child molesters, yes or no? Or are you against child molesters, yes or no? I understand you don't want to answer that question. Now the new question is the allegation regarding Nikki and you true? Did you have a relationship with Nikki when she was 15 years old or 16 years old when you were in your 30s? I don't think you would answer that question. So you want to cop for ISUPK, even though they financially support, or let's say support period, they support a convicted child molesters, a convicted child molester. You want to support Mighty Hebrew, even though he was found guilty in a court of law for rape, not the age difference. Do your thing, but some people will take issues at that. I take issues at that. Other people take issues at that. And what you're trying to do is just not working. You're trying to label me as somebody that's slanders, that's gossiping and stuff like that. But we have the receipts, you know? And as much as we have a few people who are very amusing in the chat trying to deflect, people are not stupid. They are not silly. They are seeing those things. They are hearing those things. And they understand what's going on. But now that there's this allegation regarding you, Sanetta, that explains it all. That all makes sense. Who intimidated you? Who did intimidate you, Sanetta? You mind sharing? You mind telling us who intimidated you or threatened you? Who sent you a message, written message, or vocal note? Who told you, hey, you better go against that guy over there, otherwise they're going to speak on you? Who did? Who are you afraid of? Why did you switch so quick? Anyway, brothers and sisters, stay safe, stay healthy. If I'm allowed to by the nature, I will definitely holler back at you. I don't argue, I state facts. If you're not part of the solution, you're part of the. If you're not part of the solution, you're part of the problem. I don't argue, I state facts. Duaitu, Duanecheru, Hotel.
Sister Sacred Infinite, feel free to speak, sister.
Peace and blessings to you, Shaka, and peace and blessings to everyone on the panel and everyone in the chat. I just wanted to give my take on things as far as the gossip in the conscious community. What I want to say, Shaka, is it seems as if, you know, when you shed light onto people's dirty, devilish things that you do, it seems like nobody wants to deal with it. I feel like these things, people should be put in the hot seat. We should be dealing with it as a conscious community, correcting it and say that we don't approve of it, instead of terming it gossip or, oh, that's old news. How can anything ever be old news when people are constantly being introduced to the conscious community? Everyone didn't arrive at the same time, you know, and not only is it some of this stuff isn't old, some of this stuff is actually happening right now, and it is a conversation, even if it's tough, that needs to be had.
All right.
Were you accused of molesting your wife's niece, who is your niece through marriage?
I have no recollection of that. You would have to inform me of what you're talking about. I have no recollection of that.
Okay, I will be able to one day. So I have my third question. Captain Cesario, do you have a homie that's in prison right now for child molestation that you support financially?
Yes.
But I thought you were against child molestation and those that are molesters to children.
I am against child molestation and those that molest children.
So why are you supporting this person, but you speak ill against others that have a love for people that have been just accused of child molestation?
Okay, I'll answer your question very easily. When I was at both cases of both trials, the evidence that they had, they gave the brother a lie detector test, which he passed. They tested the sister for the young girl, rather, whether her hymen was broke because he was accused of molesting her. Her hymen was not broke. A hymen, for those that don't know, a hymen is something that they use to test to see if the woman's or the child's virginity has been broken or anything like that. There was information that she said that she gave, which she then retracted. So the first case that they did was thrown out. The second case, they did not want to answer to. The jury was hung on it, and the judge did not want to release them until they came up with an answer, and then they came up with a guilty verdict. So from observing the case, if he was guilty of the crime, I would in no way support the brother. But from the evidence of the case, from the testimonies of him as well as the individuals involved, he was not guilty, even though he was found guilty.
Wow, so he was not guilty, even though he was found guilty, but you speak ill against someone else that is not guilty, but they say he was guilty. So I have a question. This brother that you support, does he have children?
Yes.
And if so, do you ever say to those children, you have a father that's a child molester?
No, I don't.
Well, why do you do that to others that have a love for Dr. Malachi Z. York Ill and you want his children of him being a quote-unquote so-called child molester, and you speak for supporting him?
Here's the picture that he showed on the screen. It's a deity El, the god El. Pay attention to the crown or the headdress, if you will. This is a picture from the front of the same statue, a little closer, and a little bit from the side here. Now, this headdress is actually the Atef crown. If you go on Webster's online dictionary, that's what it says. Atef is the specific feathered white crown of the Egyptian deity Osiris. It combines the head jet, the crown of Upper Egypt, with red ostrich feather for the Osiris cult. The Atef crown identifies Osiris in ancient Egyptian painting. If you go to Webster's dictionary, Merriam-Webster, it says Atef, hold on, a tall crown with a long feather on each side, shown in the art of ancient Upper Egypt as worn by Osiris. Okay? Here you can see Osar or Osiris with the Atef crown. This is from the papyrus of Nebket. It's actually in the Louvre Museum, and you can see me filming that papyrus on the video entitled Reality Check. Why black people ain't going nowhere. But you might as well put Afro Style Reality Check. It's going to come up. And in here, it's also from the Louvre Museum. You have Osiris in the middle with the Atef crown, and the description for it. If you go on the website of the Louvre Museum and you type Royal and Divine Triad, you can do a search and you will see they mention that he is actually wearing the Atef crown. Now, finally, you can compare the crowns. Okay, first you have the
God of the Arabs Negroes, which first is El, but somehow, some way becomes Allah. But that's up to y'all. That's up to the doctor. And then you have the one that I showed you, Osiris. Then again, from the front, compared with another statue of Osiris, and then finally the same statue from another angle.
Biblical King's Seal discovered in dump site. This is the royal seal of the King Hezekiah, and here we have an Ankh. And finally, last but not least, you need to see it to believe it. The God of the Bible, El, slept in his own dung and urine. This is Ugaritic Narrative Poetry, page 195. And we also have this book here, the Masriya in the Prophetic Literature, where it clearly says that El floundered in his own feces and urine.
We haven't brought closure to Karinga. We let him build a holiday. The same one who set up Black Panthers in ambushes at UCLA and other places. The same one who tortured his wife and another woman brutally, sticking bottles in their vagina, using electrical shocks, and the FBI saved him.
He has not atoned to the community for his attempt to destroy the Panther movement. He has not atoned for being a police informer. He has not atoned for the way he treated black women. And look now, the women he mistreated and mutilated were dark in complexion. The women in his harem are light in complexion. The number one woman is a Mexican with what seemed to be an Afro wig.
Since I've been a part of this conscious community, sexual misconduct has been condemned and vilified almost unanimously. We saw the rise and fall of Dr. York. We had Hebrew Israelite, the brother by the name of Mighty Hebrew. He was convicted, I think, twice for sexual behavior against minors. He was widely condemned by the Hebrew Israelite community, but apparently forgiven by the Israelites, because I see him all over the place right now on everybody's channel. Another brother by the name of Nazi Yashavel, another Israelite, also involved in sexual misconduct with a minor. We have no idea where this brother is, but he's been sheltered somewhere by an Israelite group.
I'm going to tell you why, because I'm an Israelite and Tazariak Israelite. And I think his doctrine is off compared to what we teach it. We both had the same mission, but he's telling the Israelites it's okay to mix race, right? He's telling that they got a doctrine saying that if a child reached a flower, they could be 15 or 9 years old, you can have sex with them.
Now, Sanetta, if you don't mind, you said that other people teach that you can have sex with a 9-year-old girl. Like, do you mind telling which other Hebrews or like organization teach that? Because you see, I'm not from New York, you know, so to me it's news, and I'd like to know when I go to New York with my daughter where I should avoid going. So if you don't mind, Sanetta, which other Hebrews or like organization teach that thing that GMS teach?
Well, there's a lot of Hebrew Israelite groups out there that that teach that. I'm not calling out no names or nothing like that. All I'm gonna tell you is that a lot of them teach that, brother. A lot of Hebrew Israelites teach that.
Can I ask you a question, Sanetta?
Yeah.
You said he's a pedophile. You were talking about Nazi, were you?
Yes.
Can you just tell us what it is about? And you see, I'm not gonna say, oh, you talk about people. You know, that's what everybody does.
No. This is different. Yassavel, you know, because the Hebrews would say anything about polite real quick, but they own man. Nasi Yashavel ended up being a goddamn pedophile, having sex with one of his wife's daughters, man. And he got ran out of town.
How old was she, the girl?
I don't know.
Was she underage?
Reggie, do you remember that?
She was underage, and yeah,
But you know, look,
and guess what? Hebrews tried to cover that shit up, but it was coming out so quick and hard.
We have those guys who've been convicted for sexual misconduct. Garfield Reed spoke about this. Yourself, you spoke about Nazi, and Garfield Reed said that Hebrew camps are sheltering Nazi. So, and you know, it's sensitive because I know he's your friend, but you know, Mighty Hebrew, several people have said that he was convicted for sexual misconduct, that he went to jail for that.
He
so
did.
how you gonna?
He did.
Well, oh well, okay, well, you know, so you're confirming, you know. So why?
Yeah, everybody know that he went to jail for that. Yeah.
Well, I didn't know that. You know what I'm saying? So obviously,
but Hebrews cover up for Hebrews. That's what they do.
All right. So
and they go on everybody's platform, and none of them niggas say a damn thing. But if I talk to Polite on the phone, oh man, how the fuck? So I'm never talking to Polite. Nigga, get the hell out of my chat. I talk to who I want to talk to. Innocent, like you said, into proven guilty, man.
Yeah, he was not convicted yet. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. So Garfield Reed didn't lie then. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When he talked about and Garfield Reed said even twice he thinks. Some people said that the second time is because he did not sign.
Yeah, he got violated. He got violated the second time. Yes.
Yeah. So what does it mean he got violated?
Well, he had a violation. I don't know why, but they came back and locked him up again on a violation charge, something like that. But all them niggas been doing that shit for a long time. Hebrews been out there molesting people and all that shit for a long time, and it's always covered up by other Hebrew Israelites. The only way we'll find out about it if we looking and searching and we see it. Oh shit, this pops up, and we catch it, you know. And then they'll come out and say something about it because we got them.
Which we teach now is that when you go into the law in the ancient world, men, if they saw a woman that they like, they can grab the woman up and rape the woman, man. and we're going to read the scriptures. We're going to read the scriptures.
Yeah, the scripture answers it better.
That's scripture.
Deuteronomy
22
and 25.
But if a man find a betrothed damsel in the field, and the man force her, I'm sorry, verse 28. My bad. Verse 28. Yeah, verse 28. If a man find a damsel that is a virgin, which is not betrothed.
The word virgin, by the way, is a Hebrew word. Let me see if I remember. Bathwala. All right. Now, the prophecy of Mary, a virgin shall conceive. The word there, virgin, is ayalama, which means young woman of marriageable age. Virgin in here means bathwala, virgin, a woman that never been, hit, so to speak. Exactly.
If a man find a damsel that is a virgin, which is not betrothed, and lay hold on her, and lie with her, and they be found, then the man that lay with her shall give unto the damsel's father 50 shekels of silver,
a dowry,
and she shall be his wife, because he hath humbled her, he may not put her away all his days.
Now, when you go back, and you know the Hebrew, when you go
like prostitution now.
No, he grabbed the woman in the field. The word, no. He humbled it. He gave it to the father after the fact. The word humble, when you go into the Hebrew, the word humble is the word aina. Yep. When you look up the word aina, it means to force, to take by force, to arrest. So what does that word mean? Rape. Yeah. It means rape.
If somebody was to rape your grandbaby that's 12 years old, you will be all right with that, God forbid. You will be all right with that?
In the kingdom, I couldn't do nothing about it in the kingdom.
In the kingdom.
Let me ask
you a question, brother. Before this keeps going, we have to ask you a question. How many of you are fathers here? Just be for real. If you're a father. Now, what if someone is overwhelmed by the Spirit of the Most High God, and he reads your scripture and he take your daughter and he just rape your daughter? What do you say to that? If he live like you live, walk like you walk, talk like you talk, because y'all live amongst each other. Yeah. Y'all live amongst each other. So what happens when one of y'all feels so overwhelmed by the Spirit of God that when you see one of each other's daughters, you just grab her up? You gonna tell one of these brothers here, come on, you know the doctrine, you know how we get when you get.
Well, answer it.
We just told you that
how would y'all respond?
In this time,
if it did happen, But if it did happen, you would allow it to happen. Why? Because you go back to the scriptures.
You're supposed to be a brother.
Hold on. You're going to allow one of your brothers to rape your daughter.
You're saying rape as if rape simply means to grab.
No. We talking about. No, we read the verse. Where someone was.
In the kingdom of heaven. Hey, look.
No. We read the verse, man.
When the kingdom is established, we're going to get women when they 12 years old.
Right.
All right?
Say it again.
As soon as they start in the kingdom of heaven, when their period starts, that's when they become a woman.
Okay.
All right? So we're going to deal with them when their period starts.
Right.
When their monthly starts.
Question.
Have sex with them. Have babies, man.
With 12-year-olds?
Brother, there's in the kingdom, we're going to do that, man. We're going to get them young. We're going to get them young.
And the kingdom is
the kingdom is right here, but the Most High is going to establish the kingdom, right?
Can I say something?
Don't look up in Google women that were pregnant under the age of 12. You got 9-year-old women that were pregnant. You got 11-year-old that were pregnant.
Yeah.
As soon as they get their period, they become a woman.
When did Eve become a woman?
I said our leaders belong to us. They don't belong to him being Puerto Rican or even white. Why do ISUPK? Because you want to claim somebody to be your brother. Why is it okay for him to disrespect any of our leaders, no matter who they are?
Okay, I don't know what leaders you're talking about, but Kadazar or the Titan.
One of them, and he was
making Martin Luther King ain't shit. So I mean, I agree with him.
Well, even if you said it, even if you said it.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you. So Taino Indians, listen. Let me answer your question. Taino Indian.
When passed away, everything changed. No, it took time for things to change. I know because
I don't want to talk about Martin Luther King, but Taino Indians are my brothers, just like Dominicans, like Sanetta is my brother, just like Haitians are my brother.
I'm African, brother. I'm African.
You Dominican, your daddy Dominican.
I'm African Dominican.
So if Sanetta's Dominican ass can be my brother and can talk about Martin Luther King, then Katazar's Puerto Rican ass can be my brother and talk about Martin Luther King.
But that makes you sound like a sucker.
So then can Sanetta as a Dominican talk about Martin Luther King? I'm asking you a question.
No, I say that Martin Luther King was a great guy. He
said we can't talk about our leaders. So
Martin Luther King to me was a fearless. Captain. Martin Luther King was a fearless man, fearless black man. I think he was a great man, brother. He sacrificed his life for his people, regardless of which way he did it. So what? We ain't got to agree with him, but I think he was.
I don't want to focus on.
We don't want to switch.
I want to focus on Martin Luther King. But what I'm simply saying is,
you judge by your intentions anyway. His
intentions
were good for us.
The Bible don't say that. The Bible say he deserved death. But I don't want to talk about Martin Luther King.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does. It said that dreamer. If that dreamer come, you want me to read it? You said it don't.
It's a whole bunch of.
You said the Bible. You said the Bible say it. So since you're talking about the Bible, let's go to Deuteronomy 13. It says, "If there arise among you a prophet or a dreamer of dreams, and give it thee a sign or a wonder."
Hold on, y'all. One at a time.
I thought she would respect the scripture. Deuteronomy 13:1. If there arise among you a prophet or a dreamer of dreams, and give it thee a sign or a wonder, and the sign or wonder come to pass, whereof he spake unto thee, saying, Let us go after other gods, which thou hast not known, and let us serve them, thou shalt not hearken unto the words of that prophet or that dreamer of dreams. For the Lord your God proveth you to know whether ye love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul. Verse 5. And that prophet or that dreamer of dreams shall be put to death. So don't tell me that what he did was of God when what he did was against God. But I don't want to talk about Martin Luther King. You asked about.
Okay.
Do you celebrate the death of Africans?
We about to say in what capacity? Let me before I answer.
Do you celebrate the death of Africans? It's very clear. It's plain English.
Well, we got a Passover coming up, so that would be the death of the Egyptians.
Okay, but my question to you, and you can
just
answer by
answered
yes or no.
I just answered it.
You said we have a Passover coming, and you mentioned the Egyptians. Right now, you're buying time.
Are Egyptians not Africans?
Are you celebrating?
I'm asking you a question. I just said we have.
He doesn't want to answer because he knows it sounds bad. It sounds worse than MLK because MLK is one
I
guy.
think what I
But you're
just
talking
said
about
is
the whole
worse than
population.
saying death of Africans, because those deaths are African babies. You know what the Passover is about? The Passover is about when he passed over the firstborn sons of the Israelites, but killed all the firstborn sons and animals of the Egyptians who are Africans. I'm not dodging your question. I'm just expounding on it.
Well, okay, can you answer by yes or no then? Do you
Yes,
celebrate the death of
I'm going
Africans?
to celebrate the Passover, which is about the death of Egyptians that were killing our babies. That's called
All right.
justice.
He doesn't want to answer the question
I said,
directly,
yeah.
but
Wait.
still
I
answered
said,
it.
wait. What are you talking about?
So can you state for the record, I celebrate the death of Africans then? Go ahead.
So first you wanted me to say yes or no. You didn't want me to expound. Then when I say yes, now you want me to say it another way. Are you so stuck on like you like an amateur? You're an amateur.
You can say that, but you know you're in your feelings right now. It's okay. You know you have the right.
I'm
to
not
be
in my
emotional.
feelings, man. I done answered the same question twice.
Brother. What? Okay, that's what I was going to say. Say no more. I asked him if he celebrates the death of Africans, and he answered yes. So we heard it for the record. Cesaria, do you celebrate the death of Europeans?
I haven't seen a bunch of Europeans dead to celebrate it.
Do you celebrate the death of Europeans?
You would have to help me understand why you're asking
Yes
that
or
question.
no, please. Yes or no, please.
I will.
Like you were quick to answer yes when I asked you to celebrate the death of Africans. Now I'm asking you to celebrate the death of Europeans.
Okay,
that's
so now
twice.
I'm gonna. No, wait. So when you ask me about the death of
You support
Africans,
the death of Europeans. That's 3 times.
when you ask about the death of Africans, I referenced a actual holiday we have that celebrates.
That's 4 times.
Yeah, listen to this.
Just like him.
Okay, no.
Answer you,
to answer the
yes
question,
or no?
I'm just about to answer it. No. Now you may. Now I'm gonna say no, and then I'm gonna no sweat.
You're wrong. You don't know. Everybody on my circuit, they against the Israelites. We hate the Israelites. We can't stand their doctrine.
Now, for the record, for those who don't know, I'm giving middle nature classes. And here, that's the flyer. Okay? So, those who are interested, feel free to holler at me. If you're not interested, it's cool. But I recommend that everybody who has not yet seen the video, Kemet and Ma'at, Before Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, then watch it. It has about 300,000 views and really deserves to have a lot more.
I just want to let everyone know who's listening in now and who's going to listen to this stream in the future. I just had my first Meta Nature class by Brother Shaka today, and I've had other Meta Nature lessons by other teachers, and I can tell you right now, the brother is the best in the game. He is that was one of the best classes I've ever had ever. So if you're interested in learning the Meta Nature, if you're interested in getting the basics of it, Brother Shaka is an awesome teacher. Get with him, and it's extremely affordable. This brother is giving us his time and his skills, and he's basically giving it away. I mean, I just consider it a donation. You know what I'm saying? So if anybody's interested in learning the Meta Nature, get with this brother right here. He's an awesome teacher. And I'll end with that.
Hotep Senu, Hana Senut. This is Julie, also known as Servant of Yah, and I'm currently taking the Medu Neture classes with Brother Shaka, and it has been an amazing experience. Only 2 lessons so far, and I feel like I've been taking the classes for months, just with the how in depth he goes into the vocabulary words, the construction of the language, the grammar. It's been immeasurable, the experience. And one thing that comes across, hands down, is his extreme passion for teaching this to anyone who is willing to learn and has an interest in learning. So I highly suggest if you are interested, even a minimal interest, that you subscribe to the classes with Brother Shaka. It's such a nominal amount for how much you get. I know, like, our last class was over 2.5 hours. It felt like 2 minutes, but because that's how, you know, involved you are in what he's teaching and how he teaches and how compassionate he is about what he teaches. Also with sharing materials free of charge, no question, no doubt. It's just what he does. He doesn't have to, but he does. And so I just wanted to give a short testimonial about the class and the effectiveness of the class, and all of that is attested to how studied Brother Shaka is. So I highly recommend anyone with a minimal interest that you do sign up for the Medunetia class. Hotep.
Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, which is Ma'at Forever. Don't forget to watch the video entitled Kemet and Ma'at. Don't forget to share Kemet and Ma'at on my channel on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, or other social media that you use. Email, text messages, you name it. Those who wish to donate can do so on paypal.me/ma'at4ever.